The following is a live sports presentation on Glycod.
Glycod's coverage of Central Kentucky high school basketball starts now.
A much belated welcome to the north side. Bryan Station High School, the venue for tonight's double dip. The 42nd District Semifinal up first at Scott County and Bryan Station on the girls. Then to follow Henry Clay and Station in the boys. Welcome to Glycod. I'm Chris LaBar alongside former George Washington University star Nimbo Hammonds. Welcome to the broadcast. This is a Scott County Bryan Station team. Nimbo, they met twice already, been narrow margins both times.
Well, here's the thing, all that really goes out the door because, sometimes winning those games early doesn't mean anything right now. You still have to bring your game in this first round of the district. If not, you go home.
An interesting matchup. Let's talk about a couple of players to watch for both sides. Scott County, Nimbo, a very balanced attack. We're going to feature Kirsten Young, one of four key seniors, and she's very versatile.
Well, it's an inside presence, being a big body. She can control the paint area, by being a defender and also getting some offensive rebounds on the other end. If they miss those shots, she could be a big problem tonight.
And for Bryan Station, of course, it's Akaya Wade, one of the program's best players in the last 10 or 15 years. Over 1,200 career points, leads them at 16 a night.
Well, you just got to strap your shoes up. You got to strap your shoes up and be ready because she's going to come at you all night long.
Akaya Wade hoping that this will not be her final game in a Bryan Station uniform. Should be an outstanding matchup. Two very evenly matched teams. It's the 2-3 game at Scott County and Bryan Station, and the winner will take on Frederick Douglass on Friday at 8 o'clock. Stay close. More coverage coming up. You're watching Glycod.
Man of War Harley-Davidson, we're proud to be Kentucky's only family-owned Harley-Davidson dealership. Here, horsepower meets hospitality, and every rider is treated like family. With a huge selection of Harley-Davidson motorcycles, expert service and parts, premium apparel, and endless customization options, we're built to support every mile of your ride. And through community events and group rides, we're more than just a dealership. Man of War Harley-Davidson, where the ride begins.
You'll still have common days. But this is not one of them. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
Communication is really important on a team because you have to know what everybody's doing, even when it's not your job. You just really want to work as one unit, and whenever you can do that, the team is at its best. I think staying active helps me to be my best self by keeping me disciplined. Being able to look back whenever I go to bed at night, checking all the things off that I've done that day, it creates the best me. My name is Trent Noah, and I'm better without it.
Home of excellent service, support, and satisfaction, Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment is your one-stop mower shop. Family owned since 1985, Lexington Outdoor offers top brands like Husqvarna, Toro, Grasshopper, and Echo. Plus, free pickup and delivery. Located just 2 miles west of Douglass High School, they're open weekdays and most Saturday mornings. For more info, stop in or visit their website at lexoutdoorpower.com. Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment, the right equipment for the right job.
Research has shown high school sports to be a great community influence. Join scores of local businesses that have partnered with Glycod in sponsoring live, hometown-oriented sports programming on our video and social media platforms. For more information, email info@glycod.com.
New recruit, take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something at school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. you can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do with it.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School basketball on Glycod.
Tonight's broadcast is copyrighted by the Kentucky High School Athletic Association for the private use of our audience. The use of pictures, video, and audio without the express written permission of the KHSAA is prohibited. Nimbo, let's take a look at tonight's game plan presented by Elite Building Products in Nicholasville. They are the right decision for your home. What stands out tonight for Scott County?
Well, they need to control the tempo, get out in transition so they can set their defense up. You know, they must score in transition so they can then set their press up to try to get the game going. They have to maximize shooting the ball from the perimeter so they can keep the lane open. And also they have to limit their turnovers because Bryan Station loves to be aggressive.
And for a Station team, so much centers around on getting off to a good start.
Yes, well, Station, here's what's going on with them. They, first of all, you have to feed the hot hand. You got to get Wade going early. The more aggressive she is, the better off they are. They also have to protect the paint. You can't let Young just get loose and just, you have to counter her. And in the end, you have to have multiple ways of sticking together defensively and help get out in transition. You want to limit them to one shot.
And as you can ascertain, the band is here. There's going to be 3 of the bands tonight, so we've moved locations, and we hope to bring you the best audio quality that we possibly can. It's Scott County and Bryan Station. Should be an outstanding matchup. We'll talk more about both teams and not too much further until tip-off. More coverage coming up right after this.
Central Kentucky, don't be afraid of your pool water. Talk to the experts at Sunshine Pools, your BioGuard dealer. For over 50 years, our reputation has made us the company of choice for all your pool needs. Visit our store for a full line of BioGuard products, equipment, and accessories. Have your swimming pool sparkling in no time. Visit Sunshine Pools today.
From Glycod, it's Central Kentucky High School basketball. Presented by Bluegrass Community and Technical College. College for your world. Tonight's game is brought to you by Man O' War Harley-Davidson. 100% Kentucky owned and operated. New Vista. We see the good ahead. Tim Short Auto Plaza. Take the short drive to satisfaction. Martin's Peterbilt. Keeping you rolling. Elite Building Products, where you'll find top quality products for your home. Cartown Kia, movement that inspires. Carpenter's Local 1650, build your winning career today. And by Suntime Pools and Spas and Apex Driving School. And now, courtside for all the action from Glycod on Central Kentucky High School basketball. Presented by Bluegrass Community and Technical College.
Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups presented by our partners at Apex Driving School, where learning to drive feels like family. The starters for Scott County highlighted by the 8th grader. That's Kylie Sweeting, a 10-point per night score. Then you've got 3 seniors, Young, Horn, and Banner, along with sophomore Gabby Young, who is Kirsten's younger sister. The starters, the expected quintet for Bryan Station, centers around Akai Wade. We told you about her, 16 tonight. Then you've got Sophia Haggard leading this group in threes at 41 connected per night. Wilkerson, Clark, and Nicoya Gar, the other expected starters for Bryan Station. And Nimbo, we talked about Sophia Haggard. She's really come into her own in her senior season.
Yes, best all-around guard on their team, so she's probably going to have to do a lot of things tonight to help their team win.
We will step aside. Live basketball coming up. So glad you joined us at Scott County and Bryan Station, the first of 2 tonight. And both winners advance to the district championship on Friday. More coverage coming up on Glycod.
Central Equipment, we're a family.
And that's what sets us apart from other ag and outdoor power equipment companies.
It's the amazing options we give our customers.
Through the quality brands that we represent.
With the parts and service that we offer.
With one main focus of making sure you,
our customers, leave happy.
If you need a new tractor, mower, chainsaw, or have other power equipment needs,
come to Central Equipment and become part of our family.
So we can show you the Central Equipment difference.
You'll still have common days. But this is not one of them. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
At Man of War Harley-Davidson, we're proud to be Kentucky's only family-owned Harley-Davidson dealership. Here, horsepower meets hospitality, and every rider is treated like family. With a huge selection of Harley-Davidson motorcycles, expert service and parts, premium apparel, and endless customization options, we're built to support every mile of your ride. And through community events and group rides, we're more than just a dealership. Man of War Harley-Davidson, where the ride begins.
My favorite thing about being a student at U of L is just the sense of community that I have on campus or off campus. Sports has positively influenced my life by taking me out of just slumps that I have in dark places. Anytime I'm feeling down or maybe alone, I always have basketball to go to. I can go to the gym at any time of the day and just my mind clears up. My name is Javon Hadley, and I'm better without it.
Research has shown high school sports to be a great community influence. Join scores of local businesses that have partnered with GlyCod in sponsoring live, hometown-oriented sports programming on our video and social media platforms. For more information, email info@glycod.com.
New recruit, take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something in school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. You can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School Basketball on GlyCod.
Welcome back to Bryan Station. A great atmosphere for the opener tonight, Scott County and Bryan Station. And again, Henry Clay and the Station boys will follow. This has been a razor-tight series this season. Scott County does lead the overall margin, but there you see 2 Station wins by an average of 2.5 points. And it is difficult to beat a team a third time, or so they say.
Yes, like I say, I've gone through that myself, and it is, because the team that you beat twice before, they're getting better, and then that bullseye get on your back, and you have to learn how to defend that. So you can't take this game for granted. You got to come ready to play.
Brian Adair, Ted McDonald, Tony Kalila, tonight's officiating crew. Pull up a chair, we'll keep you company for the next 3.5 hours or so as the ball's ricocheted around and scarfed up by Scott County to start.
Looks like Station starting out in the 2-3 zone.
And Bill Banner will handle it up top. This is a seasoned Scott County group. Although not necessarily a lot of experience, they are a veteran-type team.
Yeah, and they seem to be a nice, solid team, too. Nice size on them. I want to see how they're going to work with this zone today.
Here's the freshman, the 8th grader, Kylie Sweeting, that handled it momentarily.
We have been seeing a lot of these young ladies, 7th and 8th grade girls, getting this opportunity. How big is that?
Yeah, this tournament has been laden with youngsters, many of whom have contributed. They're Sweeting in the lane, initiating contact, and an early foul call.
What the thing that's been interesting about the younger young ladies is that they're all aggressive. You got Scott from Sarah, who comes out here is really aggressive in the offensive end, and so is Kylie.
And Sweeting has Scott County on the board. Chatting with Coach Toby Harris this morning. He's very fond of his 8th grader. He said the first time he laid eyes on her as a player, he knew she had that it factor.
She's a hard-working young lady. I've had the benefit of being in the gym with her a few times, and she really works hard.
See how Bryan Station can do here in the early phases. There's Sophia Haggard up top, and she'll draw some defensive attention as Wade turns the corner, and Akaya Wade has that rattle around the horn and out, and Scott County an early 2-point lead with the ball.
I like the way Scott County's moving that ball.
Kirsten Young has that horseshoe out, and there's a rebound for Scott County. Jessica Horn, and that one's off.
Bryan Station got lucky that time. They missed the putback. You're going to have to control that all night.
Sophia Haggard in the corner, selfless pass up top. Now it's Elena Ward.
Looking like Scott County in the man-to-man defense.
With 6:12 remaining in this opening quarter, Elena Ward penetrates the lane, got a little bit too deep, and the Cardinals out with it. Here comes Kirsten Young, and Elena Ward called for Bryan Station's second foul.
Both teams seem to be patient right now, which is a good thing. Testing the water, seeing what defenses they have to go against tonight.
There you see the second-year head coach of Scott County. This game features 2 head coaches coaching their alum.
Well, and that's, what better honor than that, to be able to go back home and coach where you played at, That's everyone's dream at some point in their life.
Serena Sandusky, head coach of Station, as Scott County has it ricochet back into half court. And Sweeting now will handle it for the Cardinals. A couple of early free throws, and that's been all here in the beginning portion of this game.
Station's 2-3 zone seems to be keeping them from penetrating right now. Scott County being patient.
These two teams so familiar with one another. As Kirsten Young feeds inside, and we have a double dribble on Scott County's Gabby Young.
Before the game, I was just looking over their team stats, and they're so evenly matched. So it's about maximizing your opportunities tonight.
And a foul in backcourt on Scott County's Bill Banner. First foul of the Cardinals as Coach Harris and staff look on.
I like how Scott County's just stepping up the man-to-man defense. They're trying to take it to Station.
There's Akaya Wade into forecourt. Her first point in this game will be her 1,300th of her career. 8-footer, short. Some length by the Cardinals challenging that shot.
Now, the one thing I would like to see Station do is come down and run some offense a little bit. One-on-one throughout the game is probably going to get tough as the game goes on.
Bill Banner well off the mark with that 3, and both teams ice cold from the floor. No field goals for either team thus far in this game.
Well, one thing I've seen is patience. They both are being patient, trying to get what they want.
Wade being occupied by the 8th grader. And how about Sweeting going to the deck, and that's a Bryan Station foul. Wonderful effort by Kylie Sweeting.
I'm going to give you a fact about Kylie. 2 weeks every summer she goes to military camp, so she's a hard-nosed young lady.
Excellent ball pressure. And Bryan Station with their 3rd foul.
Station still seems to be in the 2-3.
There's Sweeting. Will nudge it underneath. Nice little poor shot from Jessica Horn that wouldn't go in. The follow is off from Kirsten Young, and there's a lid on it at both ends.
Well, good shots. Just got to stick them.
Jakai Wilkerson will center it in half court for Bryan Station High School. 14-11 coming in, trying to get to the regional for the first time since 2023.
I like the ball movement by Bryan Station that time.
And Elena Ward on the board for three.
I like the patience of Station that time. They passed it around and got what they wanted.
That's Ward's 33rd triple of the year. Sweeting blocked by Akaya Wade on that three-point try. Here comes Carrington Clark chiseling up the floor, and Sweeting from behind with the theft.
Such a controlled break. They're playing so under control. Nobody's rushing. It's good. Good patience.
And Sweeting again trying to do something opposite. This time, Nicoya Gar will shadow.
You know, the one thing I do like about Station Zone, they're on the catch.
There's a three in the corner that's drained for Gabby Young.
As I say that, Young sticks to three.
So Scott County by a 2-point margin.
That's what you need to do against the zone. Just keep moving it till you get what you want.
And a deflection out of bounds. It will stay Bryan Station. Numerous subs in. Tony Uwase, one of them for Bryan Station. And Scott County will bring on a player as well. It's Diamond Purcell, 5'7" senior for Scott County. Station inbounds.
Scott County stays in the man-to-man.
Wilkerson floats it short. Rebound underneath. Benicia Penny with it and a held ball. Bryan Station will hang on to it with the arrow.
Nothing's coming easy on either end. We stuck at 5-3, but both teams are being patient, trying to get what they want, but everybody's having stingy defense tonight.
Yeah, only one field goal for both teams, and it each made a three. There's Haggard. They'll close out on her. Carrington Clark has it poked back. Blocked by Scott County's Bell Banner.
Good defensive presence in the post to help on the drive.
Both teams taking care of the ball here in the early part of this game.
Yeah, and that's the good thing about this. They're being patient. They're trying to make sure that they get exactly what they want out of every possession, and that's what it's going to take to win this game tonight.
Sweeting floats up a three, a little bit short. Backside rebound corralled by Sophia Haggard.
Both teams have done a great job on the glass of limiting extra shots for each team.
Latter stages of this opening quarter. As Wilkerson is it poked out of bounds, and it will belong now to Scott County.
Yeah, they got to value each possession because it doesn't look like this is going to be a high-scoring game. So each possession is valuable.
As Diamond Purcell will handle it.
You need to get some paint touches to draw the defense in, to get some easy outside shots.
Bell Banner off and in. That is Gabby Young again. Her second three.
Well, they got that driving kick, and they got Young an open shot.
And a deflection out of bounds. It's going to stay Bryan Station as Gabby Young, a couple of early threes for Scott County.
the one thing I've been really impressed with a lot of these coaches during this first few days of the district is they're using their bench well. A lot of kids have gotten a chance to be on that floor.
Micaiah Wade will inbound for Station. There's Wade penetrating in. Back up floater long. And Scott County first to that rebound.
Well, I think Bryan Station needs to go back to moving that ball a little bit, making the defense move, then attacking.
And Sweeting losing her footing, and she'll cough it up. Possession back to Station. So Bryan Station with an opportunity here in the remnants of this quarter to carve into this 5-point deficit. The lone points occurring on an Elena Ward 3-point field goal.
It'll be good to get something, a good shot at the end of the quarter to just get some momentum going back into the second.
As Ward finds her stablemate Micaiah Wade. Wade, a strong drive, lost it underneath, gobbled up and turned around and put in by Tony Uwase. And a three by Sweeting going to be short, and that's going to take us in 1/10 of a second to the second quarter. Scott County on top, 8-5 after one. Stay close. More coverage coming up. You're watching the 42nd District Basketball Tournament live on Glycod.
To safe, confident driving starts at Apex Driving School. Apex is family-owned and operated, offering teen and adult driving lessons given by state-certified instructors. They also provide a wide range of services, including classroom instruction, freeway interstate driving, and road test prep. Register today. Apex Driving School, where learning to drive feels like family.
At Man of War Harley-Davidson, we're proud to be Kentucky's only family-owned Harley-Davidson dealership. Here, horsepower meets hospitality, and every rider is treated like family. With a huge selection of Harley-Davidson motorcycles, expert service and parts, premium apparel, and endless customization options, we're built to support every mile of your ride. And through community events and group rides, we're more than just a dealership. Man of War Harley-Davidson, where the ride begins.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
Eight-5 Scott County over Bryan Station as we welcome back Chris LeBar along with Nimbo Hammonds, and a nice start for the Cardinals.
Yeah, you know, the one thing, they got two 3-point shots by Young. They need to do more driving to the paint and kicking, or even passing in the paint. I think you need to break the defense down a little bit before you take those shots.
Cardinals will inbound. That's Diamond Purcell rifles it in. Kirsten Young back to her companion Kylie Sweeting. In Station, Nimbo looking like more like a man-to-man defense right now.
Well, no, it looks like more of a matchup zone, I'm thinking.
Okay. Sweeting floats it baseline, and the teardrop is home.
You know, if I'm Bryan Station, I may early go a little bit man-to-man and try to speed them up some. They're giving Scott County too much patience with that ball.
Kylie Sweeting, her first field goal. Scott County doubling up Station early. Sophia Haggard around the clock, and she'll draw a Scott County foul. First team foul for Scott County in this quarter.
You know, the one thing as a coach that I would like to see is that ball moving. I think if you make the defense move, that's when you get a better chance of attacking.
Sophia Haggard watches Elena Ward drain a second three. Great spacing that time for Station. And Elena Ward with 6 points.
Great out of bounds play. You know, great coaches score from the out of bounds.
Ward now 34 made threes on the season. Both her and Gabby Young each with a couple of triples here in the early part of this game.
You know, the one thing I do like about both of these teams, there's not a lot of dribbling. They are passing the ball. Most of the time, you know, these young people want to put that ball on the floor too much.
There's Kirsten Young, a long two. Left that long. And Akia Wade has the rebound for Bryan Station. Rejection. Kirsten Young's length causing some problems as that ball's on the baseline. She rejected Nicoya Gar that time.
You know, it's tough for Bryan Station to turn that corner. Scott County's doing a great job of cutting those lanes off.
And the long pass deflected in backcourt. And it's deflected, so apparently not a violation as Elena Ward brings it back.
I'd like to see either a set play or even going to the post. I think right now Bryan Station has a little bit of a size advantage in the post, and I think they need to look at that.
Jakai Wilkerson near sideline. An evenly matched start as we suspected it might be. Elena Ward at deep three. Off the mark that time, and Scott County corral, it's Kirsten Young, and she's going to take it herself. And a foul on Bryan Station's Nicoya Gar.
The one thing I like about Ward, she has a quick release. You give her a little open look, she's taking it.
Cardinal possession underneath. Here's a Sweeting three. Comes up empty that time. And a held ball arrow in favor of Bryan Station.
You know, the one thing about this game tonight, there's not a lot of extra. you get one shot at it and they're going the other way. So both teams are really holding strong.
Station will inbound. And again, turnovers have been an issue for both teams throughout the course of the year, but thus far, well, Station coughs one up there. It's been relatively well played from that perspective. Sweeting on the mark with that three. So Kylie Sweeting with 7, her first three. And Scott County back on top 13-8.
That was one thing that I said that, you know, Scott County needed to do. They needed to make shots so they could set their defense up. And that's what they got in that last possession.
Well, Sweeting for an 8th grader, certainly she's not gun shy.
No. And just think a few years ago, she wasn't even really interested in basketball. This is over the last couple of years, and it shows how hard she has worked.
A critical stretch here for Station as we approach the 4-minute mark of this first half. Winner gets Frederick Douglass on Friday at 6.
You know, Scott County's pushing Bryan Station way out on that floor. It's hard to run your offense way out there.
There's Elena Ward pausing. Nice nudge in the lane. Gar off the mark. And it's one and done. And Kirsten Young really, Nimbo, controlling the backboard.
Man, I'm telling you, on both ends, they've both done well tonight on that part of it. Both of them have controlled their end.
Been a well-played start for Scott County. 10-18 on the season. That's a nice hook pass by Diamond Purcell, and Purcell drives, and it's off, and a foul underneath on Bryan Station.
We need to see more of that from Scott County. I think that's the first time they passed that ball to the free throw line and attack from there. They need to get more of that.
Clever pass from Sweeting to Purcell, and Diamond for 2 from the foul line. We've seen some good basketball here this week. What we've not seen has been complimentary free throw shooting, and it's contagious this time of the year.
You know, I'm laughing because I was just thinking the same thing. I was like, wow, what has happened to free throw shooting over the years? And that's coming from a guy that wasn't that good. So
72 is pretty strong. That one's off for Purcell, and Carrington Clark lassos the rebound for Bryan Station. And the travel is Uwase trying to gather herself near sideline.
That burns a coach up. You know, those unforced turnovers, you never want those.
Bryan Station boys coach Champ Ligon will join us at halftime, get his thoughts on the matchup versus Henry Clay. And a turnover possession back to the defenders.
I look forward to talking to Champ. We've have a long history with each other, going back from childhood up into adulthood. So that's going to be fun.
And a Scott County foul, or was it? No, it's a miscue by Bryan Station.
I didn't see it. They called an offensive foul, but I didn't see it.
So that'll go in the books as a turnover as well. And Bryan Station now 3 fouls in this quarter.
You know, the one thing about this, every possession counts in this game. Every possession.
Ellen Station going to be the beneficiary of a Scott County miscue. So now Bryan Station with the basketball, trailing 13-8.
Chris, I feel like every time we talk about something, we see it happen on the court. I guess we're manifesting it.
Law of attraction. There's a Kai Wade foul line jumper, short rebound. Uwase comes up empty and a foul. Very aggressive rebound by Benicia Penny. And Bryan Station 4 fouls now in this first half.
If I'm one of the assistant coaches over there, I'm urging my bigs to get in there and try to get some extra shots in there. You know, if you get those are intangibles in the game that can help you win these kind of games.
Here comes Kylie Sweeting. Bell Banner from the elbow. That one a little bit long. Rebound, Scott County. I think Toby Harris has to be very fond of his team's effort for the first 11 minutes of this game.
Yes.
Well, there's a miscue. And an outlet, Akaya Wade. Clobbered. As she takes it hard to the basket.
Wow. She made sure she didn't get that layup. Good hard foul. Make him earn it at the stripe.
Wade a 63% free throw shooter. And Elena Ward with a heads-up pass to start that fast break. And Wade's free throw is off.
If I have any messages for any coaches out there, please make your kids shoot free throws at the end of practice after they're tired. I think it's a lost art of the game that can help some of these teams win some of these games.
And that's something Toby Harris talked about this morning. When I asked him the difference between the 2 ball games of which they lost to Station both times, and he said turnovers and missed free throws.
Yeah. Coach's nightmares, both of those. I remember playing for Coach Washington here, and he only allowed us 5 a game. So.
And Station with a rebound. Uwase's given this team some good minutes coming off the bench. Here's Sophia Haggard.
Just as you said earlier, everybody's one and done on the offensive end. The defensive team is really doing a good job on the glass.
See what Station can do here as they try to uplift the home fans that have come out to support their team.
It looked like a kind of a horns play, but I don't.
There's Elena Ward up top. And Kyle Wade not on the floor for a little bit of a stretch. There's a Penny 3, that's off. And Scott County with a rebound. Here comes Kylie Sweeting. Extra pass, Purcell launches one. Sweeting backside rebound. Kirsten Young. And the Cardinals again with the rebound as Sweeting gets the extra opportunity and a foul underneath in pursuit of that rebound on the Cardinals.
Well, both teams are doing a great job, because even if they do give up the second chance or give up an offensive rebound, they're not letting anybody score.
Scott County going to their bench. And Station going to inbound here, and the Cardinals going to extend it with pressure, trying to increase this lead late in the first half.
Well, right here, this possession right here is big for Bryan Station. They need to get the ball up the floor and get into the half court, run some offense, and get a good, clean look at the basket.
Elena Ward dumps it down. The pin ball up and off from the doorstep was Gar, and she'll come up empty, and there's a foul in pursuit of the rebound, and Scott County going to shoot free throws.
Yeah, we need Bryan Station needs somebody to get hot and get going and get a little energy. I think on the defensive end, if I'm Coach Sandusky, you know, I may come out in a little man-to-man to try to speed them up some to get my girls going.
So Kirsten Young at the line for two. 20-point season high this year at Connor. And this young lady been a very vital part of the program. And left that one short.
You know, it's good when you have seniors who have been around and understand to be able to help the young people along, because, you know, seniors are vital for your team, especially down the stretch.
Scott County candidly has outplayed Station, but they're leaving points on the board. This will match their longest lead of the game at 14-9.
Okay, they're in the man-to-man.
Wilkerson drives, nudges it to Uwase, and Tony has done it again, and we got a Scott County foul.
Well, the one thing I said earlier is that they need to get the ball into the paint. I think Bryan Station has a chance to get some points from there, and if they get it down in that paint some, they may be able to get some long shots if they pass out of that.
And Uwase will steer that one in. And Station now within three is Uwase. 4 points and a couple of rebounds off the bench for Station.
No, Station is.
Jessica Horn with a field goal. Well executed half-court play by Scott County. Horn's first bucket.
I couldn't see who that was.
Overplay, steal. Scott County starting the break is Horn. Flags it in the corner to Sweeting.
Good patience.
Young into a three.
Great ball movement, great patience, not forcing things. Great possession for Scott County.
5 in succession for the Cardinals. The lead expands to 8. Wilkerson well off the mark, and a basket here makes it a double-figure game as we slide under 10 in this first half. Now you've got 5 as Young with the left. It's off the mark, and that's going to take us to halftime.
Great move. I love that move to end the quarter.
Scott County with some momentum, and they lead at 19-11 at the half. Stay close. Champ Ligon will walk up and chat with us at half, and you're watching the 42nd District Basketball Tournament live on Glycod.
My favorite thing about being a student at U of L is just the sense of community that I have on campus or off campus. Sports has positively influenced my life by taking me out of just slumps that I have in dark places. Anytime I'm feeling down or maybe alone, I always have basketball to go to. I can go to the gym at any time of the day and just my mind clears up. My name is Javon Headley, and I'm better without it.
New recruit, take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something in school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. You can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
Take the short drive to satisfaction with the Tim Short Auto Group. Up to 5,000 vehicles to choose from. Shop online or in person.
Hey, I'm Tim Short. I'd just like to invite everybody out to one of our 27 locations, or check us out online at timshortautogroup.com.
Take the short drive to satisfaction and bring home your new vehicle.
Home of excellent service, support, and satisfaction, Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment is your one-stop mower shop. Family owned since 1985, Lexington Outdoor offers top brands like Husqvarna, Toro, Grasshopper, and Echo. Plus, free pickup and delivery. Located just 2 miles west of Douglas High School, they're open weekdays and most Saturday mornings. For more info, stop in or visit their website at lexoutdoorpower.com. Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment, the right equipment for the right job.
At Man of War Harley-Davidson, we're proud to be Kentucky's only family-owned Harley-Davidson dealership. Here, horsepower meets hospitality, and every rider is treated like family. With a huge selection of Harley-Davidson motorcycles, expert service and parts, premium apparel, and endless customization options, we're built to support every mile of your ride. And through community events and group rides, we're more than just a dealership. Man of War Harley-Davidson, where the ride begins.
Tonight's halftime report is brought to you by Man of War Harley-Davidson, your 100% Kentucky-owned and operated Harley-Davidson motorcycle dealership at 2073 Bryan Road in Lexington. Visit manofwarhd.com.
It's halftime, and there you see Champ Ligon and Nimbo Hammonds. Go for it, guys.
First of all, congratulations on a successful season. This is not your first rodeo, but I know this is probably one of your final seasons. Care to talk about that?
Yeah, I got a great bunch of kids. They work hard. They're really fun to coach. Just having a great time. Tonight's a very, very big game, oh man. Henry Clay Bryan Station is a rivalry, to say the least.
How do you keep your energy? You know, for years you've been doing this, but you seem like you still got the same energy as you was when you was a young guy.
Well, you would know I was coaching you in Little League basketball when you were 12 years old, or baseball, I mean. The kids kind of keep you young.
Well, good. I see. It's good to have you back here. So, what can we expect tonight as we watch the game between you and Henry Clay?
Well, first of all, we got to play better than we did in the first 2 games. But a lot of that's to Henry Clay's credit. Daniel Brown does a great job. The kids are disciplined. They play hard. They run their stuff. But I feel like we can play better, but we're going to just have to get after them. These games have been really physical. I think it's going to be really physical. It's going to come down to who executes better and who wants it more.
Okay. Well, look, now, you've been here before. What do you tell your kids who have never been in this position before?
That's a good question. They just got to They just got to know it's not another game, but they got to bring their best. You got to bring your best. You got to be ready. You got to be focused. Every play counts, and you got to play. You got to play for 32 minutes.
Well, Coach, good luck tonight. We look forward to watching the game, and thank you for checking in with us at halftime.
All right, sounds good. I got a Bryan Station graduate doing the game, so hopefully that brings me a little luck.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, champ. Thanks. Nimbo, 19-11 at the half. Scott County, Bryan Station. More coverage coming up. You're watching Central Kentucky High School basketball on Glycott.
Man of War Harley-Davidson, we're proud to be Kentucky's only family-owned Harley-Davidson dealership. Here, horsepower meets hospitality, and every rider is treated like family. With a huge selection of Harley-Davidson motorcycles, expert service and parts, premium apparel, and endless customization options, we're built to support every mile of your ride. And through community events and group rides, we're more than just a dealership. Man of War Harley-Davidson, where the ride begins.
Drive with the confidence and security of a pre-owned Kia from Cardtown Kia. This incredible certification package is loaded with a 5-year, 60,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, 10 years of national roadside assistance, and 2 years of free maintenance. Choose from over 70 certified pre-owned Kias or over 1,000 vehicles of all makes and models. It's new car driving at used cars prices with certified pre-owned Kias from CardtownKiaUSA.com.
No one college can be all things to all people. But Bluegrass Community and Technical College is as close as it gets. We're affordable, like you've got a great chance to graduate with little to no debt. Affordable, flexible, with in-person, online, and hybrid programs. And you can easily transfer your credits to continue on to a 4-year university. So while we can't be everything to everyone, we can be a lot of things to you. Learn more at bluegrass.kctcs.edu.
For any of your window, door, and siding needs, contact the team at Elite Building Products. Their factory-certified, licensed, and insured contractors have been installing energy-efficient windows and doors for over 30 years. They also offer energy tax credits and military veteran discounts. Locally owned and open weekdays at 242 Wilson Drive, just off of the 27 bypass. For a free estimate, call 859-887-2440. Elite Building Products.
Take the short drive to satisfaction with the Tim Short Auto Group. Up to 5,000 vehicles to choose from. Shop online or in person.
Hey, I'm Tim Short. I'd just like to invite everybody out to one of our 27 locations, or check us out online at timshortautogroup.com.
Take the short drive to satisfaction and bring home your new vehicle.
You'll still have common days. But this is not one of them. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
This segment of tonight's game is brought to you by the Kentucky Army National Guard. Serve your country while going to school or work full-time. Find your fit at nationalguard.com.
Back at Bryan Station, Chris Labar, Nimbo Hammonds, and a pair of camera operators, John Strange and Isaac Shoemaker. Welcome you back. Time for your halftime stats presented by Bluegrass Community Technical College. College for your world. Three-point shooting, Nimbo, perhaps one of the differences in this game.
Yeah, I thought Scott County was the more of the aggressor. I was looking for Bryan Station to come out and be a little bit more aggressive on the defensive end, and they just sat in that zone for the first 2 quarters. So I'm looking for something different this time. Scott County needs to keep doing the things they've been doing and being patient.
Kylie Sweeting, 7. Elena Ward with 6 leading scorers in this game. So Scott County possession on the inbound, a team that's 10-18 entering play. Again, a couple of razor narrow losses to Bryan Station earlier this year.
Well, that's why you play the game. You come out and you lay it all on the line, especially it's win or go home tonight.
There's a jumper, an awkward-looking shot there that's going to miss, but the Cardinals have been the beneficiary on the backboard thus far, and they'll maintain possession.
You know, the one thing that I think we're still looking at the same 2-3 that we saw early in the first half of Bryan Station. Hopefully that zone will get a little bit more aggressive than it was the first half.
There's a Bell Banner 3. That may have been obstructed on the block as Kirsten Young trickles it in. And Scott County, a 10-point lead as Kirsten Young with the basket. She's got 6 points.
They just seem to be the aggressor so far.
Now Kaya Wade on the floor, only 2 fouls, or rather she does have 2 fouls in this first half. So keep an eye on that here as we head to the end. And Ward watches Wade score.
Yeah, she's going to have a good third quarter. The first 3 minutes of this third quarter is vital for both teams.
There's Sweeting watching the basket go in, and Scott County again with a bucket.
Scott County stayed in the man-to-man.
23-13. Cardinals a 10-point lead.
Good pass.
It sure was.
Good pass.
And a much-needed basket for Bryan Station. (23-15).
Well, that's the one thing about your star players. If you're not putting it in the basket, you got to find some other way to affect the game. And on that time, Wade did. She went down and drove and found her teammate.
Kylie Sweeting being bothered by Nicoya Gar. And Bell Banner there now possessing. Back to Young. And a closeout block and a foul on Sophia Haggard on that three-point try. And Scott County going to have 3 free throws.
Like those little fouls right there play a big role late in the game. You know, you got to think about that. You got to close out the right way.
So Kirsten Young for 3. And the lead now at 9.
Station needs to get the ball out quickly and get it up the floor after the free throws.
And after missing the first 2 free throws, Kirsten's rattled in 3 in a row.
If you're going to win this game, you got to do all the little things like the free throws.
And that one well short. A very important stretch here for Station as they try to get this thing a little closer. Scott County has never trailed in this game.
Well, I think right now, you know, the one thing about it is I would like to see a little bit more offense ran. The one-on-one is okay at times, and you got to choose wisely when you do that, but you got to run your stuff. You got to trust your offense at this time of the game.
Arrow in favor of Bryan Station, so they will inbound underneath.
I like that out-of-bounds play.
Elena Ward, baseline, left that a little bit short. And Scott County controlling the backboard, but then a travel. It's Bell Banner with the travel, so possession back to Station.
I'm going to see if they get something out of this out-of-bounds play, see if it's the same one.
Kaya Wade around the corner with Sophia Haggard setting a screen. Great pass, and Gar will be fouled, and the foul starting to pile up a bit here for Scott County. That's their second foul.
The one thing I do like about what Wade has done, she has come out attacking and has made them look good.
There's Elena Ward in the corner. Great defense by Sweeting, and Apparently a foul be issued. So Haggard finding Akai Wade in the corner. Akai Wade forcing that long, had a good look at it. Bill Banner out with it for the Cardinals. There's Bill Banner traipsing down the floor. And a foul on Bryan Station, Sophia Haggard.
Yeah. If I'm Coach Sandusky, I would like to see my offense ran. I said that earlier in a little bit, but they need to move that ball to get the defense moving so Wade can get down in the paint.
And Bill Banner for one more. (27-15). Scott County enjoying their largest margin.
Ever since we started talking about the free throw situation, Scott County has really stepped it up on the line.
There's Elena Ward coming up the floor, deflected out by Kylie Sweeting.
Well, I like what Coach Harris is doing as far as going man-to-man, pressuring the ball, and they're pushing Bryan Station off the line and making everything difficult. So I like that strategy.
Carrington Clark around the bend. Uwase. And a foul on the Cardinals. This is the Station team at times. They have really struggled this season to score the ball.
I was just thinking about that. This is the time that your role players need to really try to do something to affect the game.
There's Akai Wade. A strong effort comes up empty there, and Kirsten Young with the rebound. And Scott County have been in control throughout this game. They're Sweeting back to Young.
I love it. I love watching these young ladies play. They don't have no wasted dribbles.
Bill Banner hoist a long three. Out of bounds, Bryan Station.
Well, here's the one thing that I hope all the young people that are listening, learn to affect the game different ways besides scoring. There are ways that you can help your team win. Defense, cheering your teammates on, setting screens, diving on the floor for loose balls. And that's what I want to see more of out of Bryan Station this half.
Akai Wade working opposite Bill Banner. Akai with 2 fouls. That's really hampered her aggression and limited some minutes as well as Wade underneath the basket. Young, tremendous defense.
Yeah, Scott County's making it tough to get in that lane.
There's Nicoya Gar with a steal. So Bryan Station finding Akai Wade. That's a great timeout. Serena Sandusky. As Bryan Station will pause play for 30. We will step aside as well. 27-15, Scott County with the lead. More coverage coming up right after this.
You'll still have common days, but this is not one of them. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School basketball on Glycod.
Back live on the north side at Scott County and Bryan Station. The winner will take on Frederick Douglass Friday at 6 o'clock for the 42nd District Championship. Broncos a huge win last night over Henry Clay and started Nimbo with a 19-point run in both the first and second half.
Man, I was talking to my friends from college this morning about those 2 runs. That's the first time I can say I've been a part of 2 19-0 runs.
You guys didn't do that in the A-10?
Oh, no. It was too tough for that.
Here comes Akai Wade. So what's the adjustment for Station to get some points on the board?
I think they got to get out and play man-to-man defense and really try to force some issues on the defensive end. If they start getting deflections, start getting out in transition, then you get a lot of easier buckets, and I think that's what they need to do right now. Start being aggressive.
Scott County with their 4th foul. Middle sector of this 3rd quarter. Thanks so much for joining us tonight live on Glycod. Please subscribe to our free-to-watch high school athletics platform. Is there a foul away from the ball? There is. So that's going to put Station at the foul line.
Yeah, I didn't even see what happened there. She must have held on to it when she was trying to make a cut or something.
I'm not sure Toby Harris too fond of that call. Couple of free throws for Station, and by body language, you can tell that one was good for Akai Wade.
You know, I do like her energy this 3rd quarter. You know, when she was in foul trouble early, she has affected the game, you know, in both ways by driving and kicking and scoring.
Wade for 2. It's 27-17. Maybe that'll get Station going. Still plenty of time left, 3:30 in this 3rd quarter. Kylie Sweeting takes it right to Tony Uwase, number 25, and a Bryan Station foul.
You know, one thing that I always loved to do when I was coaching was, you know, sometimes you got to go man-to-man full court. Make people come out of their comfort zones. And I think that's what Station needs to try to do. Use that bench.
Kylie Sweeting, 7 first-half points. There's Purcell with the seam baseline. Oh my, left that one well long. And we're going to play the foul game. As both teams now committing fouls. Scott County with their 5th plus, so Station more free throws looming.
Well, if I'm Station, you know, I'll take it. That means you can put points on the board without the clock moving. Stretch the game out.
And Nicole Agar gets that one to trickle home. So Station with 3 consecutive points from the foul line.
Needs to make this free throw so they can set their defense and really get after it.
And Station trying to inch their way back. 27-19.
I like the pressure.
Kirsten Young finds Sweeting. Those two guys, they've really done much of the scoring tonight for Scott County. Sweeting off with that casted 3.
You know, these young players, I'll tell you this, boy, they're not shy.
A Scott County foul, so Station only down 8. Toby Harris looking on. His team, their own worst enemy at this point.
Yeah, because you're letting the Station get to the free throw line and make free throws without the clock moving. That's the hardest thing about this time of the year, just keeping your kids focused.
Kaya Wade connected on her last 2. Only a 7-point game. Bryan Station 5 consecutive points, all from the free throw line. And Scott County
good timeout.
Going to take a timeout. Toby Harris trying to get his team back in sorts. 27-21, Scott County over Bryan Station. More coverage coming up. You're watching the 42nd District Basketball Tournament on Glycod.
Can one college be all things to all people? Bluegrass Community and Technical College can. Learn more at bluegrass.kctcs.edu.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
31, check that to 27-21. Scott County by a half dozen. What's the conversation like in that huddle?
Well, if I'm Scott County, I'm saying, hey, we got to pick it back up. We're doing some unnecessary fouling and putting them on the line. They're scoring without the clock moving. If I'm Bryan Station, I'm telling them to be aggressive. Keep being aggressive. Right now, during this time, it's vital for coaches to really push their kids. Give them something that they don't always have at this time. Talk them through it, push them through it.
You can really sense the uplifting of the body language by the Bryan Station players.
Well, and here's the good thing. You know, when you start doing good things and you see it on the board, it gives you a good feeling. They start out, you know, the 2-2-1, good press.
Coming up the near sideline, Purcell, and she stepped on the near sideline.
Hey, what can you say? The last 3 or 4 possessions have gone Bryan Station's way, and they've been aggressive.
Scott County once led by 12. They have never trailed. But Bryan Station, they've taken a couple of punches. They've thrown one of their own, and now they have a chance to reduce this deficit even more.
You know, and that's the hard part about having a lead during this time of the year. You got to stay focused, because if not, the momentum can switch on you at any second.
Now, Kyle Wade's still out there. She's been able to play the majority of this half with still just 2 fouls as Wade comes around the bend. Up and off. That would have been a big one. The follow empty from Carrington Clark. And Scott County out with a rebound. Here comes Kylie Sweeting.
Smart play. Way to keep the possession alive. Smart play.
Diamond Purcell well long with.
You know, Station had a couple of chances at it last time. Didn't capitalize, but at least they stopped them on the defensive end.
Under 2 minutes, third quarter. Akaya long. And out of bounds off the baseline, but Station going to hang on to it.
I love her aggression, and that's what players do. You know, sometimes they just don't fall. You just got to keep pushing, though. You got to keep pushing. They need her to get going.
And Sophia Haggard, another young lady they could use some points from. She's their top 3-point shooter. She's scoreless thus far. Uwase, short baseline. In! Is it rolled all the way around and dipped in for Nicoya Gar. Nicoya's first field goal. And it's only a 4-point lead. And that's just next level stuff by Sweeting. But then she traveled.
Well, here's the thing. Bryan Station has really stepped up the energy level. You know, I think once you see a couple go through the basket, that's what happens. You know, right now, from Scott County, just got to be poised. Take your time.
Nearing the 1-minute mark of the third. Kaya Wade. And she's going to go to the foul line. Station has been the more aggressive team in this second half.
One thing I learned from one of my college coaches was I had a bad game one time, and I still scored up in the 22, 23 points, but I got them off on the free throw line, and let's look like what Wade's doing. She's still being aggressive. She's not putting it in the basket per se, but she's making all her free throws.
Akaya on the season, 63%. She's made her last 4 from the foul line. She'll have one more, and she has the unusual motion or emotion, if you will, with you can't really tell if she makes or not by her body language.
I know, and I'm sorry, we keep jinxing these young ladies. Every time we talk about it, they miss.
And Akaya for one more. And a missed opportunity there. There's Kirsten Young. She'll bring it herself. And a moving screen, and Gabby Young tried to set a pick for her big sister.
Well, you know, here's the thing. Bryan Station has to take advantage of everything coming now. They have to. Everything seems to be going their way momentum-wise, so you got to make your free throws. You got to get the 50-50 balls. You got to do the extra things on the floor.
Gabby might have a point there. She didn't particularly agree with that call based on her body language, but she looks set from here. So Station under a minute in this third quarter. Only a 4-point Scott County lead. There's Akai Wade over to Carrington Clark. Sophia Haggard now.
Got to take that open shot on that drive and kick. That's one thing. You're not getting too many good looks tonight, so when you get them, you got to take them.
There's Carrington Clark that lost it. The ball needs to stay in one's hands. And we got a held ball. Arrow, Scott County. Sophia Haggard, a tremendous spot-up shooter, but for the initiator, would you not agree Akaya's got to handle it?
Yeah, you know, and she's done a great job this quarter by getting downhill and kicking and finding the open shooters and her teammates. She just has to keep doing it. But people also have to recognize when they're open. Haggard had that last shot and she should have taken it.
Under 30 seconds now in the third. Kylie Sweeting hoist to three. That would have been a huge one. Uwase cleans up the rebound for Bryan Station.
Last possession of the quarter.
Here comes Elena Ward. Under 10. Wonderful effort by both teams. Bryan Station will have it with a held ball.
10 seconds on the clock. I'd like to see what kind of side out of bounds that Coach Sandusky runs. That's one thing I do like to watch is how coaches score off their out of bounds plays, especially in these moments right here, because you can get you a good look from here and, you know, going to the fourth quarter, only down maybe 4, maybe, you know, 2 or 1.
There's Akai Wade underneath, off the mark. That was Nicoya Gar from tight. Kirsten Young, outlet Sweeting, and another travel, and that's going to take us to the fourth. We got a ball game. Scott County on top of Bryan Station, 27-23. The winner on to next week's 11th Region Tournament. We'll decide it coming up next on Glycod.
No one college can be all things to all people, but Bluegrass Community and Technical College is as close as it gets. We're affordable, like you've got a great chance to graduate with little to no debt. Affordable, flexible, with in-person, online, and hybrid programs. And you can easily transfer your credits to continue on to a 4-year university. So while we can't be everything to everyone, we can be a lot of things to you. Learn more at bluegrass.kctcs.edu.
Stuck on the road? Call Martin's Peterbilt Mobile Service. Our 24/7 commercial roadside service, truck and trailer repair, and warranty service will have you back on the road in no time. Call us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Martin's Peterbilt, keeping you rolling.
Can one college be all things to all people? Bluegrass Community and Technical College can. Learn more at bluegrass.kctcs.edu.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School basketball on Glycod.
(27-23). Scott County hanging on to a precious lead. Cardinals have never trailed. They've led on 2 occasions by 12, and they lead 27-23 to start the fourth.
Big possession here for Scott County because they had a trouble scoring in that third quarter a little bit. Need to get something out of this possession.
And a turnover again as Bryan Station has it. Nicoya Gar got the rebound off the baseline, going to stay Station.
Everything right now seems to be bouncing towards Bryan Station. They just have to take advantage of those opportunities.
Nicoya Gar has missed a couple of opportunities from very close to the basket. Akai Wade to inbound. Elena Ward, that would be a huge three. And the rebound vacuumed in by Kylie Sweeting. And a Scott County timeout. More coverage coming up after this. You're watching District 42 semifinal action on Glycod.
Central Equipment, we're a family.
And that's what sets us apart from other ag and outdoor power equipment companies.
It's the amazing options we give our customers.
Through the quality brands that we represent.
With the parts and service that we offer.
With one main focus of making sure you,
our customers, leave happy.
If you need a new tractor, mower, chainsaw, or have other power equipment needs,
come to Central Equipment and become part of our family.
So we can show you the Central Equipment difference.
At Man of War Harley-Davidson, we're proud to be Kentucky's only family-owned Harley-Davidson dealership. Here, horsepower meets hospitality, and every rider is treated like family. With a huge selection of Harley-Davidson motorcycles, expert service and parts, premium apparel, and endless customization options, we're built to support every mile of your ride. And through community events and group rides, we're more than just a dealership. Man of War Harley-Davidson.
And back to live action. Scott County will inbound. Kirsten Young up top for the Cardinals. Kylie Sweeting drains a big three.
These middle school girls, boy, they have ice in their veins. Good catch, finish.
And Gar cleaned up by Kirsten Young, and a foul on Station.
I don't think she needed to dribble right there. Should have just went straight up.
Kylie Sweeting, a huge three to propel the margin back to 7. There may be one play we talk about later on this evening just in terms of the significance on that big three by Sweeting.
Yeah, I know it made Coach Harris feel a little bit better coming out of that end of that third quarter.
And Station overzealous as they're going to commit a foul.
You know, the one thing I like about guys and coaches going back to coach at their alma maters, the energy level that they have for their teams is much different.
Yeah, Coach Toby Harris, he has certainly been into this game. As Coach Sandusky a bit more subdued on the Station sideline. Rebound pinballed around, brought down by Akaya Wade.
Stick it.
That would have been big, but it's off the mark from Benicia Penny. And a Scott County turnover.
This last quarter is going to be valuable for these coaches to take care of that ball. They're going to have to. Time's ticking down. Got to take care of that ball.
Here comes Akaya Wade into forecourt for Bryan Station. Wade all the way to the basket, funnels it underneath, and Uwase lost the handle.
I'm thinking Wade probably has to take some of those shots. She's getting really close to that rim, and she has to probably take some of those.
Sophia Haggard not on the floor. We've not seen her a lot tonight, and again, she is their top three-point shooter. 6 minutes left. Kirsten Young weaves in there. Sweeting, little runner off 1 foot. No. Diamond Purcell attacking the backboard. And a foul underneath on Bryan Station.
Scott County seems to be responding after the third quarter. At the end of the third quarter, Coach Harris must have said some things in that huddle that made them come back and get refocused for the fourth.
So Diamond Purcell for 2. .65% free throw shooter. And Diamond will have one more. Station without a point in the first 2+ in this fourth quarter.
You got to pick it up defensively. Try to cause havoc. Just run all over, helter-skelter. Make it a fast game.
And that one off the mark from Purcell, but Scott County gets the rebound, and Sweeting is fouled.
Right there, you can't have those plays. That's what drives a coach crazy, losing that rebound off a free throw.
There you see the block out miss, and a rebound occupied. First free throw good for Kylie. She'll have one more. The lead at 9, and Sweeting has scored the last 5 for Scott County. There's Kyle Wade driving to the basket. And out of bounds, Scott County.
Yeah, great defense by Scott County. You know, one thing I give Wade, her effort has been more than 100% tonight. She's trying everything. She's trying to do it in all ways for her team.
Scott County's longest lead was 12. It's been cut to 4. Now the Cardinals back up into double figures. And the Bryan Station timeout. 34-23. Scott County back on top. Double figures will return right after this timeout live on Glycod.
Leaves and other dirt and grime are no match against the experts at Suntime Pools, your BioGuard dealer. Weekly service, computerized water testing, or just need advice. Our reputation has made us the company of choice for all your pool needs. Visit us today for a full line of BioGuard swimming pool products. Suntime Pools.
Hey, who turned out the lights? Hello?
You're watching Central Kentucky High School basketball on Glycod.
Bryan Station down 11, 5:21 remaining. Scott County has led throughout this game, and when they've needed points, the 8th grader has delivered.
Well, and, you know, they've done it all night long. The one thing about them is they've been steady. They've not been rattled. Bryan Station has made a run at them, but coming out in the fourth quarter, you would never know. And especially the young lady. The young lady, Kylie, she stepped up there for the last 5 points. From an 8th grader.
The arrow in favor of Bryan Station. Fouls don't favor the defenders. However, 4 fouls for Bryan Station in this quarter. Scott County yet to commit a personal. Sophia Haggard will inbound. Here comes a Kyle Wade. Uwase back to Scott County.
You know, I like what Scott County did that time. They double-team Wade to get the ball out of her hands. They're going to try to make somebody else from Bryan Station to beat them.
Good overplay and steal by Nicoya Gar, and it will be out of bounds to Bryan Station.
Well, I think they need to be a little bit more aggressive in that zone. You know, in the third quarter, they did get some turnovers off of that and some deflections, but they need to be a little bit more aggressive.
What can Station do in the half court here to try to get this back inside single digits?
Well, I think you got to just run your offense and get you a good shot right here.
Great hook and pass underneath, and Uwase from right underneath the basket could not get it to go, and here comes Kylie Sweeting. As Sweeting to the foul line, she'll sachet.
You know, you can't fault Bryan Station's effort. They've just been off the mark a little bit tonight.
Kylie Sweeting came into this game averaging 10. She's got 12 points unofficially. The lead was 4 early in this period, and Sweeting with a huge three-pointer Then she followed with a couple of free throws, and that 5-point swing has been huge as the lead now at 11.
Gave them just a little bit more comfort. Coach Harris is probably over feeling a little bit better about that.
And that one long there. There's Kirsten Young with a rebound. The arrow to the ladies in green.
Gotta block out on those free throws.
We've seen a couple of those for Bryan Station not getting the rebound off a Scott County miss.
You know, you want to keep those possession there. You want to keep those little things and not give up a jump ball on the free throw.
We'll hopefully chat with a winning head coach after the conclusion of this game. Also, our most outstanding players presented by Carpenter's Local 1650. And then we'll take a deep dive on the boys' encounter between Henry Clay and Bryan Station. It's the 2-3 matchup. Two teams splitting on the season.
One of the most anticipated games.
There's Akia Wade trying to initiate something for Station, and she'll go to the foul line.
I love the young lady's effort. She has been going all night. She has not stopped.
Yeah, Kaya, I thought she was going to get a couple of free throws. Foul on the floor apparently as Haggard nudges it in play. And a foul underneath, and a wonderful pass from Wade to find Nicoya Gar underneath.
Here's the thing that you got to preach to your kids during this time. It's about multiple stops in a row. If you ever want to change momentum, you got to start doing drills in your practices to get 3 stops in a row. That kind of momentum swing can change any game.
I mean, Scott County's offense, they're well beneath what they average. They average 45, and they're at 34. But you're not going to win many games when you're at 24. And that's the case right now for Bryan Station. Scott County's going to have to be quick to get it across, and Toby Harris recognizes that, and he'll call a 30-second timeout.
You know, Bryan Station has had their attempts. They just didn't capitalize on them. You know, they've gotten good looks around the paint. They've gotten extra shots. Just couldn't get it to fall.
Please subscribe to our growing free-to-watch high school athletics platform. It's Glycod on YouTube, and we are changing the way you watch high school athletics. There's Toby Harris inside that huddle. He's got a state championship ring on that hand somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah, that pedigree. You know, that's one thing about Scott County alum. They love Scott County. You know, I know a lot of those guys down there, and I'm talking about they bleed red.
Toby on Billy Hicks's team, 1998 state championship for the Cardinals. And the girls program for Scott County, they have a state championship as well. It's been a minute for this team, 1995, but back history, they've had a very successful run.
Oh, yeah. You know, tradition runs big there. You know, and he's doing a good job of trying to get it back there.
Cardinals trying to close out Bryan Station with under 4 minutes to go. That's Kirsten Young out with that 50-50 ball. 2 more for the senior.
That's kind of how it's been for Scott County tonight. Everything's kind of gone their way.
And Way traipsing up the floor, and she's fouled. Yeah, that play, in a nutshell, synopsizes the whole evening there. It's a loose ball. It's a 50-50 ball. And Young scoops it up and then scores.
You know, and sometimes the ball just bounces that way. It's not about your efforts. It's not about everything, anything. It just sometimes it bounces that way. The basketball gods are not rewarding you for some reason.
Here's Carrington Clark to inbound. And out of bounds to the Cardinals.
Unforced turnover.
3:33 remaining. Scott County on the season, of course, played Douglas twice. 2 losses by an average of 24. And if this score holds up, they will certainly be a huge underdog come Friday.
They did a good job of getting that ball up the floor patiently. I think they may have dribbled one time.
And that's loose on the floor. Wonderful effort by Bryan Station's Benicia Penny. Scott County with the arrow on the held ball.
Right now, got to be aggressive on the defense around Bryan Station. Try to deny all entry passes. Try to get deflections. Try to get a little burst through here. Still got enough time, but you just got to be in a hurry.
There's Diamond Purcell that will inbound. Diamond, one of 4 key seniors on this Cardinal group. Station with the 5 fouls, so any additional will result in a pair of Scott County free throws.
You know, the one thing I've liked about tonight is Young for Scott County. She has been the equalizer and the balancer for Scott County. She keeps the ball in her hands a lot. She stabilizes the offense, and and she's kept them steady.
And we talked about her at the outset of the show, one of the players to watch. And Young for 2 more. She doesn't lead this team in scoring throughout the season, but the steady hand that she provides.
Yes, and I'm sitting here watching her as I've watched her. She's just been in every play, involved in every play, offensively and defensively.
Micaiah Wade driving to the basket. So Young and Sweeting doing the offensive heavy lifting. Gabby Young got them going early with those 2 threes in the first part of the first quarter.
It was a good catalyst to get them going.
So Micaiah Wade, 2 more free throws, and this in all likelihood will wrap up a stellar career. She's been part of this program since the 7th grade. Over 1,300 career points.
Congrats to her. And it's good to see, like I said, we said it last night, it's good to see these young ladies involved with basketball.
She's been part of a couple of regional tournament appearances. And Scott County right now trying to salt this one away.
Good patience, way to pull it out. Bryan Station needs to be aggressive and look to deny. They're too easy catching that ball. They're letting Scott County just catch the ball.
There's Kirsten Young being badgered up top. And foul on Bryan Station.
The one thing I was looking for Bryan Station to do today was really, really be aggressive and be all over the place. And they came back in that zone, and they sat in that zone, and I don't know if it kind of just made them lethargic, but I didn't see the aggression that I thought I was going to see.
Kirsten Young for 2. Young in double figures tonight. Does not get the roll. Couple of very close games inside the other districts that funnel into the 11th region. We'll update the ticker momentarily. Some very close games. Both have just gone final. Under 2 minutes to play. There's Elena Ward working opposite Kirsten Young. The Bryan Station timeout. We will take a quick pause as well. Scott County on the way to the 11th region tournament. More coverage coming up after this pause on Glycod.
You'll still have common days, but this is not one of them. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
Back at the north side, Bryan Station High School, the venue for a great doubleheader This girls' game about to wrap up. Then we'll talk boys with Henry Clay and Bryan Station. That game will tip. Looking closer to the 8 o'clock window. And Scott County girls, they appear set for their first regional tournament berth since 2021.
Got to be a good feeling. The funny thing about the district play is I only got back to the region one time in my career, and that was my sophomore year, so you have to cherish those moments.
So Station possession. There's Carrington Clark driving in. There's 2 points. Well executed play out of the timeout.
Her first 2.
Kylie Sweeting. There's a 3-point shot. A little short that time. And Uwase snares the Bryan Station rebound. And Akia Wade. In the corner, Sophia Haggard. High rebound off the mark. And we're going to have free throws at the other end.
That was her first shot, wasn't it? Was it her first or second shot?
Hasn't had many, and you mentioned that earlier. She had one good look earlier that she passed on in this quarter.
Yes, in that corner, and I think sometimes if you're out of rhythm, you're out of rhythm. And shooters need touches to get in some rhythm.
So a free throw, make that a couple of them. At the free throw line for the Cardinals. It's Gabby Young for one more free throw. The dark-on-dark numerals don't do us too many favors.
And look, I'm over guessing. You must read my mind.
There's a strong drive by Wade. She'll be fouled with 1 minute remaining.
And I am getting older, so I can't see as well as I used to.
We'll hopefully catch up with Coach Harris at the conclusion of this game. 11-18, but they're going to play at least 2 more games. They'll have a game Friday versus Douglas, and then win or lose, they'll play either Monday or Tuesday of next week in the 11th region tournament. The entire tournament will be held at EKU.
Has to be a good feeling when your girls put in the work and they execute. As a coach, that's all you want. You want them to execute everything that you work on all year.
Crowd starting to file in. A lot of blue on that far sideline. Henry Clay students already perched. They're ready to get rowdy on this Thursday evening.
Yeah.
Or Wednesday evening, I beg your pardon.
They've always had some rowdy crowds. That's one thing. Them and Taste Creek. I remember them.
There's a strong drive, and Sweeting off the mark. Back for the rebound is Bryan Station. And Sweeting just going to weave it around here as the Cardinals.
Smart play.
Don't need any more points. And it's like a detonator over there. Who wants it? Held ball. Back to Station.
It was smart to bring it out. It just didn't take care of the ball. Great court awareness.
Thought that was a held ball. Somebody, I believe, is going to call timeout at Station, so we'll keep things here. What is an 11-point Scott County lead? Let's talk a bit about the boys' game coming up, Nimbo, in terms of what you expect. Let's talk first about Bryan Station and how they appear coming in to the postseason 18-6.
Well, I coach with Coach Ligon, and I've also, played with him and known him all my life. Bryan Station is going to be aggressive out the gate. They're going to try to get up and down the floor. They're going to try to be in your chest all game long. So that's what they're looking to do.
Both these teams playing really well coming in. Station there, you see 18-6. They've won third in a row. And Henry Clay, after the loss to Douglas, they've won 5 out of 6.
Now, one thing about, Daniel Brown, he's not shy at this time. He's been around a long time, so he knows how to make adjustments. And that's the one thing about Daniel. He does know how to switch up things if he needs to keep his kids going.
These two coaches combined well over 750 wins. Should be an outstanding matchup. We cannot wait to bring it to you around 8 o'clock Eastern. Henry Clay and Bryan Station. A lot of eyeballs around the state on two of the top games. Perhaps one of the better regional or district semifinal games in the area. There's a strong drive for Wade.
Oh yeah. The one thing about this game tonight, like I say, is do or die, or you go home. So the one thing about this is you're going to see a lot of intensity tonight.
So Bryan Station will score and call their last timeout. And credit Coach Sandusky. She's going to work every opportunity to get her girls better.
Well, the one thing I like about Sandusky is that, they never were really out of the game. They just had some unfortunate rolls of the ball. They never were out of it, and she kept coaching, and she's continuing to coach. And that's one thing you want to see out of your coaches. If I'm the AD here, I'm really happy about her performance tonight as a coach.
Cardinals will inbound.
Smart decision.
And Sweeting will hang on to it. And there's Zakiah Wade. And Wade up and off. Might as well shoot 2 more free throws.
Well, one thing I've learned to respect Miss Wade, I think she's played hard every possession. She's rebounded. She's tried to get in the paint. She's defended. And you want that out of your senior. She came here and left it all on the floor tonight. So even though you walk away with the loss, you have to feel good about the way you left the game.
Zakiah 2 more free throws. Picked up 2 early fouls, and that really hampered her ability, I think, in the first half to be as aggressive as she normally might be.
Yeah, and I think you kind of threw them off because now you got your catalyst to your team sitting on the bench, so now you got to find somebody else to take that role.
2 more for number 1 with 13 seconds remaining. And Scott County gonna move on after 1 more inbound play to a date with Douglas on Friday.
The pressure has to be off Coach Harris's back right now. Getting past the first round of this is a great feeling.
Scott County moving on to their first regional since 2021, and the Cardinals have done it, defeating Bryan Station for the first time this year, 40-33. More coverage coming up, including our Cartown Kia post-game report. We'll have that for you right after this timeout on Glycon.
Take the short drive to satisfaction with the Tim Short Auto Group. Up to 5,000 vehicles to choose from. Shop online or in person.
Hey, I'm Tim Short. I'd just like to invite everybody out to one of our 27 locations, or check us out online at timshortautogroup.com.
Take the short drive to satisfaction and bring home your new vehicle.
For any of your window, door, and siding needs, contact the team at Elite Building Products. Their factory-certified, licensed, and insured contractors have been installing energy-efficient windows and doors for over 30 years. They also offer energy tax credits and military veteran discounts. Locally owned and open weekdays at 242 Wilson Drive, just off of the 27 bypass. For a free estimate, call 859-887-2440. Elite Building Products.
Can one college be all things to all people? Bluegrass Community and Technical College can. Learn more at bluegrass.kctcs.edu.
Need a tow? Martin's Peterbilt Towing Service is here 24/7. Based in London and Pikeville, we will travel to you. Commercial trucks and trailers, no job too big. Call us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Martin's Peterbilt, keeping you rolling.
Your road to safe, confident driving starts at Apex Driving School. Apex is family-owned and operated, offering teen and adult driving lessons given by state-certified instructors. They also provide a wide range of services, including classroom instruction, freeway interstate driving, and road test prep. Register today. Apex Driving School, where learning to drive feels like family.
At Man of War Harley-Davidson, we're proud to be Kentucky's only family-owned Harley-Davidson dealership. Here, horsepower meets hospitality, and every rider is treated like family. With a huge selection of Harley-Davidson motorcycles, expert service and parts, premium apparel, and endless customization options, we're built to support every mile of your ride. And through community events and group rides, we're more than just a dealership. Man of War Harley-Davidson, where the ride begins.
Drive with the confidence and security of a pre-owned Kia from Cartown Kia. This incredible certification package is loaded with a 5-year, 60,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, 10 years of national roadside assistance, and 2 years of free maintenance. Choose from over 70 certified pre-owned Kias or over 1,000 vehicles of all makes and models. It's new car driving at used cars prices with certified pre-owned Kias from CartownKiaUSA.com.
Tonight's post-game recap is brought to you by Cartown Kia, your dealership for unmatched design, performance, and savings at 3120 Lexington Road in Nicholasville. Visit CartownKiaUSA.com.
Scott County a winner over Bryan Station tonight, 40-33. Time now for our most outstanding players, presented by Carpenters Local Union 1650. You can build your winning career today. Just visit carpenters.com to get started. A couple of players we could have gone with for Scott County. Kirsten Young will get the nod, 13 points alongside 10 rebounds. Kirsten, just a steady hand, played almost 31 minutes of action, 13 points and 10 rebounds. Kylie Sweeting, 12 points and 6 rebounds. So a great effort both ways. And then for Station, Akaya Wade got off to a slow start, but she finished in her last high school game with 14 points. So Akaya Wade will be our Bryan Station most outstanding player tonight. And congratulations to her on just what was a tremendous career here for Station. Been a part of this Defender program for 6 years, 1,300 plus career points. But tonight, it's Scott County as the Cardinals defeat Bryan Station 40-33. More coverage straight ahead. We'll have a look at your final numbers. Also connect with Cardinals coach Toby Harris, and then we'll preview the boys matchup between Henry Clay and Bryan Station. And we'll get all that started right after this timeout live on Glycod.
No one college can be all things to all people, but Bluegrass Community and Technical College is as close as it gets. We're affordable, like you've got a great chance to graduate with little to no debt. Affordable, flexible, with in-person, online, and hybrid programs. And you can easily transfer your credits to continue on to a 4-year university. So while we can't be everything to everyone, we can be a lot of things to you. Learn more at bluegrass.kctcs.edu.
New recruit, take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something in school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. You can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
Take the short drive to satisfaction with the Tim Short Auto Group. Up to 5,000 vehicles to choose from. Shop online or in person.
Hey, I'm Tim Short. I'd just like to invite everybody out to one of our 27 locations, or check us out online at timshortautogroup.com.
Take the short drive to satisfaction and bring home your new vehicle.
Research has shown high school sports to be a great community influence. Join scores of local businesses that have partnered with Glycod in sponsoring live, hometown-oriented sports programming on our video and social media platforms. For more information, email info@glycod.com.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how, and we tell them with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids need to know the dangers and how to avoid them. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription and never shared with friends or family. It's dangerous and illegal. So talk with your kids, because when you talk, they hear you.
For any of your window, door, and siding needs, contact the team at Elite Building Products. Their factory-certified, licensed, and insured contractors have been installing energy-efficient windows and doors for over 30 years. They also offer energy tax credits and military veteran discounts. Locally owned and open weekdays at 242 Wilson Drive, just off of the 27 bypass. For a free estimate, call 859-887-2440. Elite Building Products.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
Henry Clay Bryan Station boys will tip momentarily, but right now let's check in. Nimbo Hammonds is with victorious girls coach Toby Harris of Scott County.
Go around, please. Coach, I just want to tell you, first of all, congratulations on your win tonight. I know you must be feeling great and got that monkey off your back.
Hey, it's a tough monkey. We've been fighting and fighting. Last two games we had them, it's been total 5 points, between the margin, and we lost both of them. And tonight I told my girls, we're going to get this thing tonight. We came in with a game plan and we stuck to it, and I'm so proud of those girls.
Explain your game plan, because it looked like you were steady all night. You didn't really deviate from a lot of things. You just kept steady.
No pressure. That's all it is, pressure. Pressure makes diamonds. So we just kept pressing. And we knew eventually, once we can get the lead and we can get ahead, they'll start giving up a little bit. And that's what it started happening, because our defensive pressure kept coming. Came off the bench. We had great play off the bench. Come in, provided excellent defense tonight. And that's all we asked for.
Let me ask you this. This is one thing that I saw tonight. Miss Kylie. Talk a little bit about your 8th grader. She did a lot of things on the offensive end, but she also guarded Wade all night. I don't know if people paid attention to that, so let's talk about that for a second.
Hey, she's done that the last 2 games for us and when we played Bryan Station, and asked her to lock down people, and she's done it. She's an 8th grader playing a 3rd year of basketball. She's only been playing 3 years of organized basketball, and you see it. Her game is coming. Kentucky, get ready, because she's going to be on the map. Offensively, she's learning. She's got to get stronger. That's it. But defensively, she wants to lock down, and that's something different. That's the difference between wanting to play defense and wanting to lock somebody down, and she doesn't.
Last thing, Coach, what do you tell your kids after this game as you prepare for Friday?
Hey, next game, we go in, we play our ball game again. We don't deviate from anything. We play our ball game, and we'll be right in the ball game again.
Well, Coach, thank you. Good luck, and congratulations on your journey. And much success to you as you go forward.
Thank you.
Thanks, Toby Harris, and thanks as well to Nimbo Hammonds. Toby Harris, appreciate both you guys. As Scott County's moved on, they will take on Frederick Douglass on Friday at 6 o'clock. And up next, we'll talk about this matchup. Henry Clay boys, Bryan Station boys, the rekindling of a long rivalry. We'll have more coverage. Boys game will tip in about 10 minutes or so, and we'll get that started right after this pause on Glycod.
Man of War Harley-Davidson, we're proud to be Kentucky's only family-owned Harley-Davidson dealership. Here, horsepower meets hospitality, and every rider is treated like family. With a huge selection of Harley-Davidson motorcycles, expert service and parts, premium apparel, and endless customization options, we're built to support every mile of your ride. And through community events and group rides, we're more than just a dealership. Man of War Harley-Davidson, where the ride begins.
You'll still have common days. But this is not one of them. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
Communication is really important on a team because you have to know what everybody's doing, even when it's not your job. You just really want to work as one unit, and whenever you can do that, the team is at its best. I think staying active helps me to be my best self by keeping me disciplined. Being able to look back whenever I go to bed at night, checking all the things off that I've done that day, it creates the best me. My name is Trent Noah, and I'm better without it.
Home of excellent service, support, and satisfaction, Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment is your one-stop mower shop. Family owned since 1985, Lexington Outdoor offers top brands like Husqvarna, Toro, Grasshopper, and Echo. Plus, free pickup and delivery. Located just 2 miles west of Douglas High School, they're open weekdays and most Saturday mornings. For more info, stop in or visit their website at lexoutdoorpower.com. Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment, the right equipment for the right job.
Research has shown high school sports to be a great community influence. Join scores of local businesses that have partnered with Glycod in sponsoring live, hometown-oriented sports programming on our video and social media platforms. For more information, email info@glycod.com.
New recruit, take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something in school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. You can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
Welcome back to Bryan Station. Henry Clay and Bryan Station. Do or die, win or lose. The winner moves on, the loser's season will end. Nimbo, you've been a part of this rivalry, but this goes back for so many years. And these two teams, they meet a lot in the postseason with Bryan Station on the short end of that one.
Well, here's the good thing about this rivalry. It's been going on long before me, and it's going to go on long after us. You know, but the one thing, the kids that are involved now, that is a lot riding on this tonight. And you have to capture the moment. So, you know, just enjoy the ride.
These two teams split this season. The home team won both. The most recent, as you see, 2 weeks ago with Henry Clay winning that one in overtime, 70-67. And when you talk about key players, you have to start with Amari Owens.
Hey, you talking about a young man who gives you everything every night, and you can't take off a possession against him. He's going to come at you defensively and offensively.
26 points tonight, Amari, the all-time leading scorer in school history. And then Henry Clay, Jackson Steffen, he's right up there statistically, double-double.
Well, the one thing I like about Steffen is that he scores at all levels. He can bring the ball up and run your team, take shots from perimeter, or he can take you in the post. And, that's the one thing that I've loved about him. He has an array of things that he can do on that floor.
Jack Hemingway has been quite the addition. Actually, he and Ricky Goatley, two new players into the program. Hemingway from Berea, Goatley from Madison Central, and they have made a huge difference.
Hemingway, he can fill it up. So if Jackson is having a struggling time, Hemingway has stepped in. I've seen him do it. And then Goatley, I fell in love with Goatley earlier and I watched him because I fall in love with point guards who lead their team, and that's what he does, leads his team.
Coming up, our Elite Building Products game plan. We'll get Nimbo's analysis ahead of Henry Clay and Bryan Station on Glycon.
For any of your window, door, and siding needs, contact the team at Elite Building Products. Their factory-certified, licensed, and insured contractors have been installing energy-efficient windows and doors for over 30 years. They also offer energy tax credits and military veteran discounts. Locally owned and open weekdays at 242 Wilson Drive, just off of the 27 bypass. For a free estimate, call 859-887-2440. Elite Building Products.
At Man-O-War Harley-Davidson, we're proud to be Kentucky's only family-owned Harley-Davidson dealership. Here, horsepower meets hospitality, and every rider is treated like family. With a huge selection of Harley-Davidson motorcycles, expert service and parts, premium apparel, and endless customization options, we're built to support every mile of your ride. And through community events and group rides, we're more than just a dealership. Man-O-War Harley-Davidson, where the ride begins.
Drive with the confidence and security of a pre-owned Kia from Cartown Kia. This incredible certification package is loaded with a 5-year, 60,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, 10 years of national roadside assistance, and 2 years of free maintenance. Choose from over 70 certified pre-owned Kias or over 1,000 vehicles of all makes and models. It's new car driving at used cars prices with certified pre-owned Kias from CartownKiaUSA.com.
Your road to safe, confident driving starts at Apex Driving School. Apex is family-owned and operated, offering teen and adult driving lessons given by state-certified instructors. They also provide a wide range of services, including classroom instruction, freeway interstate driving, and road test prep. Register today. Apex Driving School, where learning to drive feels like family.
You'll still have common days, but this is not one of them. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Kentucky Army National Guard. Uncommon is calling.
Time now for our game plan presented by Elite Building Products in Nicholasville. Make them the right decision for your home. You can visit EliteKentucky.com. First up tonight, what's most important for Henry Clay?
Well, I think Jackson has to establish himself in the paint. The more they can get done in the paint, it'll free up the shooters on the outside. Also, while doing that, if they can kick out and hit those perimeter shots early, that opens up the lane. And lastly, you can't let Mari get loose. You have to make him play in the half court so you can use team defense against him.
And for Bryan Station, it seems like Owen's really at the focal point of both of these keys tonight.
Yes, because he does everything. You can't let him dictate the pace. And that's what he does. If he dictates the pace, you're in trouble. And then also, Bryan Station needs to dominate the boards. If they can dominate the boards, they can get out in transition and run. And then also apply pressure all game long without fouling.
Very important tonight. Nimbo's analysis. It's Henry Clay and Bryan Station. Game plan presented by Elite Building Products. Starting lineups, opening tip Henry Clay and Bryan Station. We'll bring it to you next. And thank you for watching Glycod.
Central Kentucky, don't be afraid of your pool water. Talk to the experts at Suntine Pools, your BioGuard dealer. For over 50 years, our reputation has made us the company of choice for all your pool needs. Visit our store for a full line of BioGuard products, equipment, and accessories. Have your swimming pool sparkling in no time. Visit Suntine Pools today.
From Glycod, it's Central Kentucky High School basketball. Presented by Bluegrass Community and Technical College. College for your world. Tonight's game is brought to you by Man O' War Harley-Davidson. 100% Kentucky owned and operated. New Vista. We see the good ahead. Tim Short Auto Plaza. Take the short drive to satisfaction. Martin's Peterbilt. Keeping you rolling. Elite Building Products, where you'll find top quality products for your home. Cartown Kia, movement that inspires. Carpenter's Local 1650, build your winning career today. And by Suntime Pools and Spas and Apex Driving School. And now, courtside for all the action from Glycod on Central Kentucky High School basketball. Presented by Bluegrass Community and Technical College.
Welcome into Bryan Station. Starting lineups presented by our partners at Apex Driving School. We're learning to drive. Feels like family. We told you about the two new additions, Goatley and Hemingway, but the offense is focused on Jackson Steffen, 21 points, 11 rebound averages. Then you've got two freshmen that have really played well, Jalen Hill and Alan Dixon. Station starters, Owens, program's all-time leading scorer. No offense, Nimbo. Kamani Barber, Torrance Sanford, Tayshawn Adams, and Kaliko Roberts. Should be a great ball game. Winner gets Douglas Friday at 8. And the winner will also qualify regardless of Friday for the 11th region tournament.
The one thing I will say is that I'm proud that Murray is wearing that Bryan Station. At least the leader scorer stays home.
The band has made it. Lightfoot, Cold Iron, and Dunn, tonight's officials. Great crowd on hand. Wonderful student body representation on both sidelines. And Henry Clay will possess the ball first. There's Jackson Steffen weaving in, and the Blue Devils are on the board.
That's a good sign.
Jackson Steffen, 21 point per night score, and Ricky Goatley will shadow not Amari Owens, but Sanford on the near side. And there's a Bryan Station miss. Rebound number 5, Ricky Goatley. And there's number 5 at the other end, Amari Owens with a steal. And Amari off, Adams the putback.
This is going to be a high-paced game.
Tayshawn Adams, that was one of your keys, Nimbo. Offensive rebounding, and Adams with the early volley and score. Steffen underneath.
Well, I think he's the X factor here. If Adams has a good game, Bryan Station can be very scary.
Tayshawn will inbound after the Henry Clay miscue. And Torrance Sanford, a blossoming sophomore, brings it across.
I'd like to see the half-court offenses by both teams, see what everybody's looking at.
And with Jalen Hill, the freshman, on Amari, you have a little more length than you might with Ricky Goatley at the teeth of that defense.
Well, I like that because then you got a young guy, long, like you said, with length, and you're not getting your point guard in foul trouble.
Barber rifles it to Adams. Tayshaun off the mark. Rebound vacuumed in by Jackson Steffen.
You know, that's one aspect of his game that I love, too. He's a great rebounder.
Goatley baseline fling. That's long, and Owens secures the Bryan Station rebound, and there goes Amari, and it's poked away. I believe Hill got a hand on that. And here comes Goatley. And Kamani Barber called for a Bryan Station foul.
It looks like it's going to be a track meet all night, Chris. And you know, we better get our eyes together because they're going to be moving.
Jackson Steffen will inbound underneath. The Air Force Academy commit.
Right now with the size advantage, I would try to go to Hemingway. I would try to look at that.
With Sanford shadowing him, there's Dixon up top, the freshman for three, well off the mark, and Sanford with a rebound.
You know, I think as you're sitting on the bench and you're one of the assistant coaches, you got to start figuring out where you can get some points from in this game. Matchups are going to be different, and you got to figure out where you can execute at.
There's Amari Owens in the corner to Torrance Sanford, number 3. Barber from the foul line. Bingo!
If Bryan Station's supporting cast can step it up tonight, that'll make it so much easier for Amari to get loose.
Here comes Goatley near sideline as Bryan Station with a couple of field goals strung together. And Ricky Goatley will possess opposite his own number 5. And Dixon could not hang on to that pass, and Raymond Lightfoot signals Henry Clay possession.
And, you know, that's one thing about Champ. After coaching with him and playing against him at times, you know, he's going to get after it. He teaches his kids to go hard.
There's Jack Hemingway over to Dixon. Jalen Hill finds Jackson Steffen, and Steffen on the block on the backside, but put up and in by Jalen Hill.
Each team supporting cast members has to do their part.
And Torrance Sanford, a spoon-fed pass to Tayshaun Adams. He's got 4.
I would like to see Sanford really lead this break a little bit more throughout this game to let Amari and them play off the ball.
Jackson Steffen up top. Here comes the help from Adams. Steffen sensed it. Hemingway hoist to 3. Yes! Jack Hemingway and Henry Clay in a 7-6 start.
You got to keep your eye on him. I think that's the matchup that we're going to have to watch tonight. Hemingway against Sanford.
Owens in for his first field goal. A high-octane beginning. Hemingway belt high pass to Ricky Goatley, number 5, and we'll see what he does as you've got 3 Station players tucking in short tails or coming in at the next whistle. Jalen Hill far sideline. There is Hemingway, another 3. He'll steer that long, and it's going to poke out of bounds. Possession, Henry Clay.
Well, the one thing that I know from Champ is he's going to run a lot of bodies because he want to keep the game at a fast pace, so he's going to make a lot of subs. It's going to be on Henry Clay to keep that composure.
Crafty inbound play, but Steffen could not get it to go in. Here comes Amari Owens. In the corner, Marcellus Ashford that just checked in. Under 3 in the first quarter. Owens with a crease baseline. Marcellus Ashford, it tees up a 3. Little found money there.
Well, he's a long line of the Ashfords that have played for Coach Ligon, and I've coached a couple of them, so the family tree keeps going.
Ashford only averages 1 a night. He's already got 3 as Amari in transition, and Station on a flurry. And a Henry Clay 30-second timeout. We'll step aside. We're back in 30. Now this from BCTC on Glycod.
Can one college be all things to all people? Bluegrass Community and Technical College can. Learn more at bluegrass.kctcs.edu.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School basketball on Glycod.
(13-7), Bryan Station by 6. Amari Owens with 4, and then a big 3 off the bench from Marcellus Ashford.
Well, the good thing about it is the points are coming from different players, and that's kind of what you want for Bryan Station. You don't want everything to go through Amari early. You want those other guys, those role players, to get going as well to make everything easier for him down the stretch.
Daniel Brown calling timeout early as he sensed a Bryan Station run.
That's one thing about coaches. It's not his first rodeo. He knows how to stop a run himself.
Henry Clay has brought on 6-foot junior Isaiah Brown. Jackson Steffen off the mark on that 3, and Ashford vacuums in the rebound for Bryan Station. Tayshawn Adams needling in the corner.
I'd like to get Tayshawn some paint touches.
Ethan Owens flips up a 3. Rebound secured by Brown of Henry Clay. And there's Ricky Goatley as a poor pass by Brown. And the miscue is Tayshawn Adams. We'll head to the free throw line.
Oh, they called a block.
So the Henry Clay turnover. And then coming up the floor, Tayshawn Adams navigating it. And he'll have 2 free throws. Or will he? No, he'll get 1 free throw up through the and 1.
Yeah, they gave him the and 1.
1:44 now in the first, and the lead at 9. And Amari Owens for Bryan Station. Driving. It's off and poked out of bounds. It will stay with the defenders.
The one thing Henry Clay cannot do is get rattled. When Bryan Station senses blood, they try to come after it. After the timeout from Coach Brown, I expect to see them to come down and run something to get a good shot next time.
Amari Owens flips up a 3. That's short and catapults out of bounds. Here comes Ricky Goatley. Colton Hilton is checked in. He'll funnel it in the corner to Jack Hemingway of Henry Clay. And another turnover, and Bryan Station just causing Henry Clay to play too fast.
Yeah, you can't miss those moments right there. Bryan Station is everywhere. They want to keep it helter-skelter. And Champ Ligon has done that his whole career.
Marcellus Ashford coming up the floor. Only original starters, Amari Owens, Tayshawn Adams on the floor for Station. They've got 3 reserves. Claude Lewis is checked in as well for Bryan Station, 6'2" freshman, number 40. As Amari stares at the play call from his head coach.
Looks like he's coming out of that zone. They was in the zone for a second. Now I think they switched back to man-to-man, Henry Clay, that is.
And Amari under 20 as he'll engage. Ethan Owens for 3. Tayshawn Adams, another offensive rebound. And a foul underneath on Henry Clay. It's Isaiah Brown.
Now, the one thing about Adams, he's been active everywhere else. I need, if I'm Bryan Station, as we go into the second quarter, you still need to get him some paint touches to establish that.
That's the second blocking foul that's been called on Brown, and Daniel Brown chatting with the official as the free throw goes in for Adams.
I won't say anything about free throws because they've been hitting them, so I'm going to leave that alone.
The Bryan Station is 61% free throw shooting team coming in, but you certainly couldn't tell it by this beginning.
They seem to be locked in, and that's what you need at this time. You know, snow tomorrow.
This is a 12-0 Bryan Station run. Colton Hilton for a three. Jackson Steffen has the rebound. And a foul underneath on the defenders. Under 10 in this opening quarter. Second foul on Station. Steffen to Goatley, and Goatley able to scarf up that pass, and there's Steffen underneath for two. And that's going to take us to the end of the first. A Bryan Station 18-9 lead. And more coverage comes up next, live from Bryan Station High School. You're watching Glycod.
To safe, confident driving starts at Apex Driving School. Apex is family-owned and operated, offering teen and adult driving lessons given by state-certified instructors. They also provide a wide range of services, including classroom instruction, freeway interstate driving, and road test prep. Register today. Apex Driving School, where learning to drive feels like family.
At Man-O-War Harley-Davidson, we're proud to be Kentucky's only family-owned Harley-Davidson dealership. Here, horsepower meets hospitality, and every rider is treated like family. With a huge selection of Harley-Davidson motorcycles, expert service and parts, premium apparel, and endless customization options, we're built to support every mile of your ride. And through community events and group rides, we're more than just a dealership. Man-O-War Harley-Davidson, where the ride begins.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School basketball on Glycod.
Bryan Station on top of Henry Clay 18-9 as we welcome you back. And it will be Station basketball, and we've got 5 defenders that have scored thus far, and that speaks to their 9-point lead.
Yeah, if you can share the wealth, especially at Bryan Station, because, you know, you winning like this, and Amari really hasn't gotten loose yet.
Yeah, Owens held to just one field goal thus far. As Torrance Sanford will handle it up top. Now Henry Clay going to a zone look with Ricky Goatley up top. There's Tayshawn Adams finding Roberts in the corner, and it's coughed forward as Owens able to gobble it up for Bryan Station.
Look like Henry Clay's gone to the 3-2 in this second quarter. They're going to try to make Bryan Station take some outside shots.
Torrance Sanford finding Adams. Tayshawn been a focal point already. 7 points, 3 or 4 rebounds.
That's where he has to operate, right there. He's going to have to be aggressive at that spot right there. At that free throw line.
Here's Torrance Sanford, a runner from the lane. That was a pass, I beg your pardon, and Adams put it in.
Adams is an unsung hero at this point. He's getting all the garbage points and everything being around that rim.
There's one of your keys, Nimbo. Steffen had to outplay Adams. It's not been the case thus far. Hemingway off with that 3, and Tayshawn with a rebound for Bryan Station. Nearing the 6-minute mark of this first half, Bryan Station controlling things, leading Henry Clay by a game-high 11.
Henry Clay's gone back to man-to-man.
Amari Owens stops in the lane, tried to float it forward to Kamani Barber, and it's out of bounds to Henry Clay.
The one thing Henry Clay has to do, they can't let Amari get to that paint. You got to take away those paint touches for him. You got to keep him on the outskirts of the paint. Push him to the sideline.
Here comes Jackson Steffen in with Kamani Barber posing a different defensive challenge. Steffen bulldozes his way a foul on the floor.
You know, the one thing that Bryan Station is going to do is throw bodies at you. So Steffen is going to get a lot of different looks, you know, a lot of different looks. I wouldn't be surprised if everybody on that bench doesn't get a look tonight.
Kamani Barber will check out for Station. And they'll bring on 44, Koloko Roberts. Steffen trying to squirm baseline, and Raymond Lightfoot says Tayshawn Adams will be called for the blocking foul.
You know, it looks like what they're trying to do. They're going to double team in that post to get that ball out of his hands. So he has to be ready for everything so he can pass out of it.
Here's a three. Colton Helton's missed his first two, and Roberts ahead of everybody for Station. Amari with the follow, and that play just synopsizes his whole career, the will, the effort with the putback.
Well, just to follow it up on that play, thinking your man's got a wide open layup, and you know he misses. So good ball decision by Amari.
Here's Ricky Goatley up top. Dixon, Alan Dixon will touch it. Goatley on the cut, and could not get it above the rim as Amari Owens out with it for Bryan Station. Here's Owens with a crease and a Henry Clay foul, and a 13-point deficit for this Henry Clay team.
The one thing I like about Amari, when he does attack, he's very patient and very calculated. And then when he takes off, he goes hard.
Owens a 63% free throw shooter. That young man has worked tirelessly at his game at the free throw line.
You know, the funny thing about him is, you know, I've met him a few times, and he's even been to my gym. When they have snow days, he's called and said, "Can I get in the gym?" You know, that's what you want out of a young man, a leader for your team.
Off to EKU, and he's hoping to play on their floor coming up next week with a win tonight. That feat will be accomplished as EKU will host the 11th Region Tournament next week. Barrett Goodwin is on for Henry Clay in backcourt. Ahead now, Ricky Goatley, number 5.
Goatley needs to be more involved in his offense to get them rolling. He's got to make it easier on Hemingway and Jackson to be able to get shots.
There's Jackson Steffen. Could not get that to go in. He's got one field goal to start the game. Been quiet since. Ashford dials up a 3. And a foul underneath on Bryan Station. It's Claude Lewis, the guilty party. And Henry Clay dormant from the field here in this quarter, yet to scratch.
Yeah, and this is why I'm looking for Goatley to kind of lead this team a little bit. He's got to take the pressure off of Hemingway and them to get them in something, to get them some looks.
And Henry Clay going to call timeout. You just sense some frustration on that Blue Devil sideline. We will be back after this message from Kentucky Army National Guard on Glycod.
You'll still have common days. But this is not one of them. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
(24-9) Bryan Station leading Henry Clay 4:27 in this first half. What can the Blue Devils do, Nimbo, to get some offense going?
Well, they need to match their energy. You know, they haven't matched the energy tonight that Bryan Station is giving out. And then also, too, goalie needs to do a better job of getting them in their offense so they can start getting some better looks and moving that ball.
Henry Clay possession out of the timeout. They've gone through 2 timeouts already. There's Jack Hemingway, shadowed by Elijah Bojang. So Champ Ligon going 9 deep here in the first half. There's Steffen. Great move against Tayshawn Adams. He'll carve space and a foul underneath on Bryan Station. That will be their 4th foul of this quarter.
You know, that's one thing I did like. You know, they got Jack the ball in the post. They got Jackson the ball in the post, and he went at Adams. So the good thing about that is you want to try to get Adams in foul trouble because he's been a catalyst in that first quarter for them.
And Tayshawn with a couple of early fouls. Jackson Steffen for 2 free throws. He was the lone holdover that played really any significant time last year. They lost so much experience off that successful team last year. But Henry Clay, again, a solid season on the watch of head coach Daniel Brown.
You know, the one thing about it is when you get in new guys, you know, sometimes it takes them a little bit to get used to the system and the program. And I think those guys come back next year, so at least you'll have them with this experience.
And Steffen not doing his team any favors with that missed free throw. Henry Clay, again, yet to score in this second quarter. Tayshawn Adams snares the rebound ahead to Marcellus Ashford. As Amari Owens will have it. As Bryan Station, they trailed 7-6. 12 consecutive points, gave them a double-figure lead. Now they lead by a high watermark margin of 15.
Station being patient. I like the ball movement.
Claude Lewis underneath. Lost the handle after the contact applied from Steffen, and Goatley out with it from Henry Clay.
You got to go get that ball and attack that rim strong.
Loose on the floor. Wonderful effort there by a pair of defenders, and Bryan Station with possession and a 30-second timeout. Henry Clay trailing Bryan Station. This is the 42nd District Semifinal on Glycod.
Can one college be all things to all people? Bluegrass Community and Technical College can. Learn more at bluegrass.kctcs.edu.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School basketball on Glycod.
Bryan Station leading Henry Clay 24-9 with just over 3 minutes left in this first half. This is a Blue Devil team averaging over 60 points per game. And there you see through nearly 13 minutes of action under double figures.
Well, they need to just get settled in. Sometimes you just got to take one bucket at a time, you know, and just get a defensive stop. And, you know, sometimes those little things that get you rolling.
Amari Owens on the handle. He's played well within himself tonight, setting up others. And it showed with a result. There's a great example there as Ethan Owens rams it in. Amari to Ethan.
Well, here's what I'm going to say about that. He's led his team in different ways tonight. I was looking for him to be aggressive offensively scoring-wise, but he's really been doing a lot of dishing.
There's Jackson Steffen inside the lane. Took it right to 44 Roberts, and the byproduct is a foul. So Jackson Steffen, Henry Clay's leading scorer, back to the free throw line.
Yeah, they're going to have to do more of that. You know, then because you get to the free throw line, you can score some points without the clock moving. So Henry Clay's got to start taking advantage of Jackson in the post.
Steffen misfiring on his last 2 free throws. And Henry Clay desperately needing some points. That'll stem the tide, their first point of this second quarter.
Make this free throw, let you set your defense up.
And Steffen now 1 out of 4 from the foul line as Amari Owens snags the Bryan Station rebound. Under 2:30 in this first half. The winner gets Frederick Douglass Friday at 8 p.m. for the 42nd District Championship. Ethan Owens inside the lane. The runner with the left. Backside rebound by Roberts. kept his foot on the ground and elevated for two.
They just seem to be getting to all the areas tonight. They seem to have
There's Amari Owens for two off that ball pressure. And it's a 20-point mountain for Henry Clay to climb.
They just seem to be on it right now.
Here's Goatley into front court. Blue Devils got out to such a hot start in this game. Scored on 3 of their first handful of possessions. There's Jack Hemingway trying to squirm his way in.
Nothing has been easy for Henry Clay. I'm talking about they have no driving lanes. They really need to turn their offense over some. Go right back to the post.
There's Goatley in the corner. Colton Helton with a cut, and Roberts, nice overplay deflection out of bounds. As Jackson Steffen will inbound underneath. Good overplay and steal by Ashford. Tayshawn Adams runs the floor and floats it in.
If you don't understand how big of a play that was for him, to grab that ball one hand and lay it in off the break, great play.
Got a Henry Clay timeout. We'll take one more look at this remarkable play in transition for Bryan Station. Coming up at halftime, we'll chat with Herald Leader sports columnist Jared Peck. Jared on the high school beat will get his analysis of this very impressive first half. And Nimbo, I'm not sure many people thought it would look like this at this part of the ball game.
Well, I'm surprised. I was looking for Henry Clay to match the intensity, come out and recognize what kind of stage this is. But it seemed like Bryan Station has caught them off guard and really jumped on them.
Henry Clay only 2 timeouts remaining, and you would guess that at halftime the conversation is maybe a challenge from Daniel Brown for his guys to step up and make this more competitive.
Well, I think at this time you just got to say fight. You just got to get in there and say fight. Forget about the scoreboard. We got to fight. We got to get our identity back right now.
And a hold away from the ball on Station. That will result in a couple of Henry Clay free throws with 1:09 in the half.
If I'm Henry Clay, I'll take all that right now. Try the next play out, get a good defensive stance. Try to at least get your 2 or 3 buckets in before this quarter.
Ricky Goatley for a pair. He is scoreless tonight. Ricky been a great addition after transferring in from Madison Central. And Henry Clay blessed to have him for another year as well. Goatley slid into the starting point guard role, and he'll be back as a senior next year.
So all the experiences he's getting now and learning that program, he'll be even much better next year.
There's Amari Owens to the right, and he'll, I believe, challenge that shot, and the rebound vacuumed in by number 1, Jackson Steffen of Henry Clay.
The one thing that Bryan Station has done all night long, they have got back on defense.
Ricky Goatley finds Hill, extra pass, and Colton Helton could not get it to go, but he's fouled.
Wow, it's one of those nights so far.
That would have been a 3-point play opportunity and a wonderful backside pass for Henry Clay.
Just another missed opportunity. That'll probably be some of the things that Coach Brown talks about at halftime, how to maximize on your moments.
Colton Helton, the transfer from Scott County. (32-13). Scott County girls defeated Bryan Station girls earlier this evening. If you just joined us, they've advanced to the district championship on Friday against Frederick Douglass. As Colton Helton, second of 2 free throws. And there's Amari for another Bryan Station rebound.
I've really been impressed with him in the first half. He's done more getting his teammates involved than him trying to get himself involved, and That's a sign of a good leader.
Well, and look at the score as a result of the selflessness. The rebound secured by Stephan of Henry Clay with 16 seconds in the half. Now under 10. Stephan trying to carve out some late offense. Under 5. Colton Helton jacks up a 3. And that's going to take us to half. Bryan Station, a very impressive first half. And they lead Henry Clay tonight on Glycott 32-13. Jared Peck of the Herald Leader coming up the stairs. He'll join us next after this pause.
My favorite thing about being a student at U of L is just the sense of community that I have on campus or off campus. Sports has positively influenced my life by taking me out of just slumps that I have in dark places. Anytime I'm feeling down or maybe alone, I always have basketball to go to. I can go to the gym at any time of the day and just my mind clears up. My name is Javon Hadley, and I'm better without it.
New recruit, take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something in school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. You can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do with it.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
Take the short drive to satisfaction with the Tim Short Auto Group. Up to 5,000 vehicles to choose from. Shop online or in person.
Hey, I'm Tim Short. I'd just like to invite everybody out to one of our 27 locations or check us out online at timshortautogroup.com.
Take the short drive to satisfaction and bring home your new vehicle.
Home of excellent service, support, and satisfaction, Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment is your one-stop mower shop. Family owned since 1985, Lexington Outdoor offers top brands like Husqvarna, Toro, Grasshopper, and Echo. Plus, free pickup and delivery. Located just 2 miles west of Douglas High School, they're open weekdays and most Saturday mornings. For more info, stop in or visit their website at lexoutdoorpower.com. Lexington Outdoor Power Equipment, the right equipment for the right job.
At Man of War Harley-Davidson, we're proud to be Kentucky's only family-owned Harley-Davidson dealership. Here, horsepower meets hospitality, and every rider is treated like family. With a huge selection of Harley-Davidson motorcycles, expert service and parts, premium apparel, and endless customization options, we're built to support every mile of your ride. And through community events and group rides, we're more than just a dealership. Man of War Harley-Davidson, where the ride begins.
Tonight's halftime report is brought to you by Man of War Harley-Davidson, your 100% Kentucky-owned and operated Harley-Davidson motorcycle dealership at 2073 Bryan Road in Lexington. Visit manofwarhd.com.
Jared Peck of the Herald Leader joins us for his first half assessment. Bryan Station, very impressive, Jared.
Yeah, that's the Bryan Station that nobody wants to see. I mean, they've taken some tough losses this year. They're still ranked number 16 in our last media poll that we had. They're playing at their absolute best right now, just harassing, creating turnovers, making shots. Nobody's going to want this Bryan Station team if they keep playing like this the rest of the postseason.
And Amari Owens just been handed the stat sheet. He does have 10 points. He's not forcing things, and his team is delivering.
No, I mean, they're getting production from Adams. They're getting production from some of the other players. Get 3-pointers there. But the turnover, the defense intensity right now is just on another level. what they're doing defensively has created everything else. And, I mean, you don't need Amari Owens making miracles if you can create turnovers in the half court.
The winner gets Frederick Douglass on Friday. What did you think of Douglass's play last night? They controlled the Sayre game from the outset.
Yeah, I mean, I think they had a chip on their shoulder because Sayre pushed them to overtime when they played them in the regular season. So Douglass is really, really good, really athletic, and when they're firing, you're not going to stop them either.
In the 11th region, Jared, conversation has to center around Madison Central, the number one team in many polls. Do you feel like they really are that good?
They're very, very good, and if you don't keep Jake Feldhouse from hurting you, I mean, it's just you have to pick your poison with them. You either have to double Jake Feldhouse and hope that nobody else makes any shots, or you have to let him go and take your chances there. If they're making shots around Jake Feldhouse, they are the number one team in the state. I mean, if everybody else supports him and he's able to throw off when he gets doubled and throw it to the outside and get playmakers out there making shots, they're going to win everything.
From the girls' standpoint, certainly Frederick Douglass does have to be the favorite, but you've got Dunbar's had a fantastic season, and Lafayette a narrow win tonight. They're having a strong year as well.
Yeah, Lafayette got Dunbar in the regular season. I think Dunbar is a little bit better, but they are both kind of young as far as experience goes. Lafayette has basically one senior that's a major contributor. Dunbar's best players are all juniors. They're a little young for what Douglass can bring to them. Douglass beat Dunbar by like 20 or 30 in the regular season, but that was in December. Dunbar believes they've gotten better since then. We're going to find out probably soon.
Thanks so much for stopping by, Jared. That's Jared Pick of the Lexington Herald Leader. We'll step aside. The second half coming up next. Bryan Station on top of Henry Clay on Glycott, 32-13, and we'll have more in just a moment.
Man of War Harley-Davidson, we're proud to be Kentucky's only family-owned Harley-Davidson dealership. Here, horsepower meets hospitality, and every rider is treated like family. With a huge selection of Harley-Davidson motorcycles, expert service and parts, premium apparel, and endless customization options, we're built to support every mile of your ride. And through community events and group rides, we're more than just a dealership. Man of War Harley-Davidson, where the ride begins.
Drive with the confidence and security of a pre-owned Kia from Cardtown Kia. This incredible certification package is loaded with a 5-year, 60,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, 10 years of national roadside assistance, and 2 years of free maintenance. Choose from over 70 certified pre-owned Kias or over 1,000 vehicles of all makes and models. It's new car driving at used cars prices with certified pre-owned Kias from CartownKiaUSA.com.
No one college can be all things to all people. But Bluegrass Community and Technical College is as close as it gets. We're affordable, like you've got a great chance to graduate with little to no debt affordable. Flexible, with in-person, online, and hybrid programs. And you can easily transfer your credits to continue on to a 4-year university. So while we can't be everything to everyone, we can be a lot of things to you. Learn more at bluegrass.kctcs.edu.
For any of your window, door, and siding needs, contact the team at Elite Building Products. Their factory-certified, licensed, and insured contractors have been installing energy-efficient windows and doors for over 30 years. They also offer energy tax credits and military veteran discounts. Locally owned and open weekdays at 242 Wilson Drive, just off of the 27 bypass. For a free estimate, call 859-887-2440. Elite Building Products.
Take the short drive to satisfaction with the Tim Short Auto Group. Up to 5,000 vehicles to choose from. Shop online or in person.
Hey, I'm Tim Short. I'd just like to invite everybody out to one of our 27 locations, or check us out online at timshortautogroup.com.
Take the short drive to satisfaction and bring home your new vehicle.
You'll still have common days, but this is not one of them. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
This segment of tonight's game is brought to you by the Kentucky Army National Guard. Serve your country while going to school or work full-time. Find your fit at nationalguard.com.
Time now for your first half numbers presented by BCTC College for your world. Station plus 11 on the backboard. Nimbo, that was one of the parts of emphasis early in this game.
Well, here's the thing I want you to understand is anytime that you can establish yourself in the paint, you get off to a good start, and that's what Adams has done. He's really been impressive around that paint.
Ricky Goatley around to Jalen Hill as Henry Clay tries to muster some positive momentum here in this third quarter, trailing 32-13. Now Jack Hemingway around to Hill. And Ricky Goatley passes up a shot. Jackson Steffen will not pass up that shot, and that one's long.
It was a good look, though. That's the look that you wanted. Just got to stick it.
As Bryan Station been in control throughout, they trailed 7-6 early and got on a 12-0 run, and they have not looked back.
No, and I like that they've gotten everybody involved. Amari has done things without the ball, and he's gotten his teams involved in things, so he hasn't had to do much. Just be a leader.
Amari 10 points, 4 rebounds, a couple of assists. Been a well-balanced scoring game for him. And Station doing their thing early. Kamani Barber, a corner three, long backside, put back in for Tayshawn Adams.
We talked about it. He's been everywhere. He's been getting all the extra efforts.
Tayshawn leading scorer in the game. He's got 15. There's Jackson Steffen driving to the basket for an and one answer.
Got to do more of that. The one thing I do like about Adams' games, he reminds me of what my coach told me in high school. When you got a guy like Owens on your team and you put up volume shots, you got to find other ways to impact on your team. So you got to go get rebounds, get second chance points, and do things like that to help your team. And that's what he's doing.
Jackson Steffen now with 8. And the rebound snared by Jack Hemingway as Henry Clay trailing it now 34-16. And Jackson Steffen sliding inside the lane. There's 2 more.
One possession at a time.
Steffen now in double figures with 10 as we slide under 6 minutes in the third. Now Torrance Sanford handle it for Bryan Station.
Good patience. Way to bring it back out. He could have taken the shot, but he just valued possession that time. Good job by Bryan Station.
Kamani Barber, knives in the lane, lays it in.
That was a quick move, too.
You got Barber and Ashford, 2 guys really don't score a lot for Bryan Station, doing so tonight. There's Jalen Hill lofting it high and in.
That was impressive because Adams went to go get it.
36-20 as both teams exchange baskets. Torrance Sanford down the promenade and cleaned up by number 1 Jackson Steffen of Henry Clay. 5 minutes in this third quarter. And a foul from behind on Bryan Station's Amari Owens.
Well, the one thing that Henry Clay's been really doing well this coming into this third quarter they've been getting Jackson that ball in the middle of the floor and letting him operate. So I've seen a little bit more energy out of them.
Henry Clay trying to get a little bit closer as Alan Dixon will have it around the horn now. Goatley, Ricky Goatley, lob, and Dixon puts it in.
Great set play to get you a bucket. You know, take it one possession at a time. That's one thing I know Coach Brown has told his players.
Owens driving with the left. He's bothered, and a foul on Henry Clay's Dixon.
He's a constant threat. Even though he's been doing well by getting his team involved, but as soon as you fall asleep, he attacks you.
So Dixon with the basket here is Henry Clay. We're going to have a Bryan Station timeout while you were away. So Station pauses play for 30. We will step aside, resume our coverage of the 42nd District Basketball Tournament right after this on Glycon.
You'll still have common days, but this is not one of them. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
Chris Labar, Nimbo Hammonds welcome you back to Bryan Station High School. 36-22 is Henry Clay trailing it by 14. And Bryan Station will have possession underneath as Champ Ligon, their head coach, trying to get a better sense of things as Clay has responded well in this half. There's the inbound to Tayshawn Adams. That is short. Got his own rebound, though. Torrance Sanford around to Amari. And Amari drives. And a foul.
Here's the thing that I think about what Mari's doing so well tonight. He's not pressing issue. He's giving the ball up and taking the second tier to his teammates. And when they give it back to him, then he's attacking. That's a sign of maturity.
As Owens for two. And he'll have another. Still 4:21 in the third, and if you're Henry Clay, is there a goal in mind to try to get this deficit under entering the fourth?
Got to get it to 10. If you get it to 10, then you give yourself a chance. You know, you don't try to, if you get more than that, hey, that's even better, but get it to 10.
Kamani Barber checks back out. Ethan Owens will sub in. Owens 2 points in 7 first half minutes. And Amari 1 of 2 from the stripe.
Goatley. I need him.
Ricky into front court is Ricky with a blow by momentarily. Now Jackson Steffen, a strong drive and a backside help and a Bryan Station foul.
Goatley needs to get in tune with Coach Brown. He needs to be the coach on the floor to get these guys moving and rolling. I look for him to be more vocal going down the stretch, hopefully to help his team.
Goatley 4 points in the game, but Jackson Steffen will steer up and off a free throw, and he's normally a 70% free throw shooter, but he's had his share of issues there tonight.
Yeah, he's had to work hard, so sometimes fatigue might be a factor. Legs might be a little weak right now.
Jack Hemingway does have 5 points, but Jackson Steffen needs some help for Henry Clay to get back in this game. There's Ethan Owens, stolen away by Ricky Goatley. And Goatley parading up the floor.
Look in the post. Look in the post.
There they were with Steffen. Baseline floater. And Ethan Owens snags the Bryan Station rebound.
I think they missed the opportunity early.
Amari up and in with that strong left hand. So back to 16. It was a 19-point lead at half. Allen Dixon long on that three. Tayshawn Adams with a rebound up to Amari Owens for two more. They're just lethal in transition.
You know, that's what happens when you take long shots and you miss them. They're off to the races.
Dixon in the corner, and a moving foul on number 1, Marcellus Ashford of Bryan Station. Now Goatley up top, as Jack Hemingway touched it momentarily.
Well, you know, the good thing is, you know, for Bryan Station, every time their man touches the ball, they're right there in their face. Nothing's been clean.
Now Dixon finding Jackson Steffen up top. He'll hoist up a three, and it's in.
Yeah, Henry Clay looking to speed the game up a little bit, try to cause some turnovers by trapping a little bit.
Stolen away by Goatley. And Ricky with two.
Smart play, smart play.
Henry Clay with 5 in succession, and they are going to speed up the game. Jackson Steffen, it's 1 against 3. And Amari Owens with a foul as Jackson Steffen, I think, took a page out of Owens' book as he bulldozed his way to the basket.
You got to get those points. Either get it by making the layup or getting to the free throw line.
So Jackson Steffen for 2 more free throws, and he's got to make these, though.
Yes, to make them count. You know, I think he missed one of the last time, but you got to make all of these. You know, the good thing about right now is they're itching away. We talked about where they needed to be at the end of the quarter, and they're getting close to 10 points being down. So they're putting themselves in a good position to make a run.
Down 12. They were within single digits very late in the first quarter. That was their last appearance in a single-figure deficit. Jackson Steffen trying to carve a little bit deeper into that. With one more free throw. And he got the roll. So 41-30. Under 2 minutes in this third quarter.
For Henry Clay, they need a good stop right now. Get a good possession on defense. And then for Bryan Station, they just got to stay steady. Got to take care of the ball.
Amari Owens twirls in the lane. And a Henry Clay foul.
He goes so hard to the basket. You're almost better if I'm Henry Clay. I try to deny any touches to get to him and make somebody else beat me.
The lead back to 12. Amari for one more. And Station will sub out Claude Lewis. And Amari back for one more free throw.
He's done it silently and quietly tonight, Amari Owens, that is.
Been so steady. Under control.
Yes.
Jack Hemingway off the mark on that three. That would have brought it to 10. As the ball in the corner, there's Torrance Sanford. He'll fling up a three and horseshoe out. Tayshawn Adams with a putback long. And Raymond Lightfoot said it glanced off of Henry Clay.
Here's where Bryan Station needs to go do something different than just putting the ball in Owens' hands and letting him just go 1-on-5. They need to run some offense. Get Adams some shots right now. You have a guy that can be really effective down low.
There's Amari Owens in the corner. Marcellus Ashford. He made a three earlier. That one's off the mark, but another offensive rebound. And Ashford in after a wonderful assist from Torrance Sanford. Here comes Jack Hemingway. And Goatley and Owens collaborate on that loose ball.
When you see your leader diving on the floor, that's a good sign.
There's Steffen trying to squeeze in the lane, and a half-hearted whistle, but a whistle nonetheless, and a foul.
I don't think the Henry Clay fans like that. I mean, the Bryan Station fans like that.
So 2 free throws again for Steffen.
If they can get these 2 buckets and put it in and then get a stop on the defensive end and maybe got to get one more last shot, they could be a good quarter for them.
Trailed by 19 at the half, so they've whittled 4 off that deficit. And Steffen again, long on a free throw. He was 1 of 4 from the foul line in the first half, and he's at least missed that many in this half.
I think I've got them down for missing 6 free throws as a team. You know, those are vital right now. Just put those 6 on the board. You're talking about a different ball game.
I think you might be kind, Nimbo. That one's off. And Roberts with a rebound. 40 seconds left. Winner gets Douglas Friday night. Ashford loops it into Tayshawn Adams. There's the return. And a little miscommunique there as Roberts wasn't ready for that lob pass. And it's going to deflect out and go to Henry Clay in the balance of this third quarter.
That was a good look. I don't think Roberts understood what he was trying to do, but if you're a big man and a guard puts it up there for you, you got to finish that.
And Ricky Goatley. In the corner, Colton Helton for 3. There it is. And that's going to take us to the fourth. Bryan Station on top, 45-33. You're watching the 42nd District Basketball Tournament on Glycon.
No one college can be all things to all people, but Bluegrass Community and Technical College is as close as it gets. We're affordable, like you've got a great chance to graduate with little to no debt. Affordable, flexible, with in-person, online, and hybrid programs. And you can easily transfer your credits to continue on to a 4-year university. So while we can't be everything to everyone, we can be a lot of things to you. Learn more at bluegrass.kctcs.edu.
Stuck on the road? Call Martin's Peterbilt Mobile Service. Our 24/7 commercial roadside service, truck and trailer repair, and warranty service will have you back on the road in no time. Call us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Martin's Peterbilt, keeping you rolling.
Can one college be all things to all people? Bluegrass Community and Technical College can. Learn more at bluegrass.kctcs.edu.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
Colton Helton, a big 3 to close the third. And it's down to 12 as we get set for the final 8 minutes. Winner moves on to the 11th region tournament. The loser's season will conclude.
First couple of minutes of this quarter is very important for Henry Clay to try to establish something on the offensive end.
As Mari Owens will handle it up top. Spinning in the corner to Kamani Barber, and Ashford, 2 complementary parts, have played very well tonight for Bryan Station as we have a foul underneath.
Well, when you know your role, that's one thing about Coach Ligon. He has a main guy that he usually uses, but he makes sure his role players know their roles.
I think one of the keys to beat this Station team is defending without fouling. They just shoot an abundance of free throws, and Amari Owens, the central part of that.
Well, here's what you have to do. You have to make sure you finish on the offensive end so you get yourself a chance to set up your defense. Because if you miss or if you take a long shot and bounces long, they're off to the races.
So Owens, for one more free throw, he had 10 first half points. He's exceeded 20 now for the game, and that one barely grazed the rim, and Henry Clay able to maintain possession as it ricocheted off of a closing Calico Roberts, and it will belong to Henry Clay. Here comes Ricky Goatley.
Big possession right here for Henry Clay. Big possession for them.
There's Hilton in the corner. Up top, Jack Hemingway popped through the screen. Hemingway drives in, forced it, and got the roll.
Much needed basket. Now they got it to 10. Now you got to put a string of stops together if you're Henry Clay.
Bryan Station led by 19.5, but they could not prevent Amari from driving to the basket.
Well, when you have Amari Owens, it's a quick answer.
Near sideline, Hemingway, and he'll be badgered and fouled by number 3, Torrance Sanford of Bryan Station.
You know, the crazy thing, I think when they scored in about 7-8 seconds.
His ability to just take it down the floor, it's remarkable the speed at which he plays.
Yeah, you know, I haven't seen a young man that can move that fast and weave in and out of defenders as well as he has in a long time.
Jackson Steffen to inbound underneath. We'd like to welcome those of you watching tonight live on Glycon, our free-to-watch high school athletics platform. Please subscribe to our growing platform as we change the way you watch high school athletics. Steffen, bingo. Jackson Steffen brings it to 10.
Big bucket. Big bucket.
And Henry Clay all of a sudden trying to creep an inch closer.
Well, here's where if I'm stationed, I'll put the ball back in Sanford's hands and let us run some offense.
And Ricky Goatley, another big steal for Henry Clay as Goatley floats it around and ill-advised and stolen away. And Tayshawn Adams for 2.
Boy, you get a good big steal and then you give it away. Takes the breath out of your coaches, but you just got to keep fighting.
Here's Goatley, long 2 off, and Adams been dominant tonight on the backboard. He's on the way to a double-double.
You know, the good thing about this now, and I would try to get him a paint touch. Get him a paint touch. He's done his job tonight.
There's Kamani Barber funneling it up top to Torrance Sanford, number 3. Owens lobs it underneath to Sanford. Back door, 2 more for Tayshawn.
You know, the one thing I've seen about the last 1-2 punch I've seen at probably at Bryan Station that's effective like this was probably myself and Mike Allen as far as a big and a guard goes. You know, and Tayshawn Adams and Owens work well together.
Deflected out as Adams. He's a little bit of an enigma at times in terms of his inconsistency. At his best, Tayshawn, he's put up 34 this year against J-Town, but he also can get single digits in some games.
Well, and I think sometimes it's just his demeanor. You know, and I think that's where your coaching comes into play. You got to learn how to get up under his skin and make him play every night.
There's Steffen sensing the moment. He's going to go back to the free throw line. The urgency that he's playing with.
You know, like I say, I've been on that young man, at the end of that young man, when you're down and you're looking at that clock and you're trying to find a way to get the win for your team and you just keep fighting. Sign of a true leader.
And again, Jackson, some issues tonight at the free throw line. And the lead is 14. Henry Clay had a 7-6 lead. And that was the last time they ever held the upper hand.
Rough night at the line.
And again, a 70% free throw shooter. He's missed, got to be 8 free throws at least. And I'm not sure he misses 8 in 2 weeks.
Man, I know, and this is uncharacteristic, but it also gives credit to Bryan Station and see how hard he has to work.
And Tayshawn Adams cleans it up. There's Ashford near sideline. It's Bryan Station seeking win 19. Here's a corner 3, rattles in for Kamani Barber.
Well, you know what? I can't say any more about the Bryan Station kids tonight. The role players have stepped up. You know, Mari has his points and he's done his thing. But those other guys, the supporting cast, have done their job tonight.
Kamani Barber on the cusp of double figures. He averages 3. As Henry Clay comes out with it. There's Stephen baseline. And wills it in for 2. And Henry Clay timeout. The lead is 15. 4 minutes left. Bryan Station on top of Henry Clay. We'll step aside, be back with more after this from Glycon.
Leaves and other dirt and grime are no match against the experts at Sunshine Pools, your BioGuard dealer. Weekly service, computerized water testing, or just need advice. Our reputation has made us the company of choice for all your pool needs. Visit us today for a full line of BioGuard swimming pool products. Sunshine Pools.
Hey, who turned out the lights? Hello?
You're watching Central Kentucky High School basketball on Glycod.
4:04 left as Bryan Station, they've had the upper hand throughout to most of this evening. They lead Henry Clay 54-39. More high school basketball coming up on Friday. We cannot wait to bring it to you. Both district championships, we'll have it for you. Starting at 5:30 on Friday, both the 42nd and 43rd in Lexington girl-boy doubleheaders. And then Saturday, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, 10 a.m. for the 11th Region selection show. That ought to be fun.
Yeah, you know, great week of basketball. You know, you'll have some happy kids at the end of the week, and you have some kids who go home and have to live with the memories.
And Sanford into forecourt. What's the adjustment Henry Clay is making defensively?
Well, trying to tap the ball to keep the ball out of Maury's hands. But they've done a great job of handling the press.
Champ Ligon has to be ecstatic with the way his team has executed tonight. Their half court been sensational.
Well, when you got your dynamic duo, I don't want to say Batman and Robin, but you got Batman and Robin tonight, and then all the supporting cast has done their part.
Jalen Hill flings up a 3. And the rebound secured by Torrance Sanford as Bryan Station appears on their way. They've met Douglas twice this season. 2 losses to the Broncos. And it will be a packed house on Friday.
Yes, it will be.
There's Jack Hemingway squirming in a foul on Bryan Station as Hemingway lands awkwardly on that baseline.
Well, it just seems like Bryan Station has been the quicker team tonight. They recovered well. They've covered down when people have gotten beat. And if they grab that rebound, they're off to the races.
So Hemingway for 2. He has been a wonderful addition, the transfer from Berea. 13-point-a-night score in his 12th grade season.
He hasn't really gotten loose tonight. You know, Bryan Station has done a good job of just pressuring everybody.
So Hemingway trying to steer one more, and still 2:53 remaining. Here comes Owens. Weaving his way, just splits the double team. And great motor there by Hemingway to deflect that pass, but Owens able to secure it for Bryan Station. Tayshawn Adams up and in.
Big boy move. That was a man move in there.
Adams north of 20 tonight on the north side with 2:24 remaining. Ricky Goatley, baseline, carves it out. Hemingway steps into a three. Steffen, wonderful effort to chase down the rebound and knock it in.
Henry Clay still fighting. Got 2 minutes left. You got to give it all you got.
And a Bryan Station full timeout, something Champ Ligon wants to clean up. It's a 58-43 Bryan Station advantage, and you're watching the 42nd District Basketball Tournament live on Glycod.
You'll still have common days, but this is not one of them. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School Basketball on Glycod.
Well, Nimbo, what do you like best about what Bryan Station has done tonight?
They played and they've catered to their strengths. They played defense, helter-skelter defense, and they've gotten up and down the floor. They've secured the rebounds on the defensive end and only allowed Henry Clay to really get one attempt every time. So their game plan, they've stuck to it, and they've done it the whole night.
Special thanks, as always, to the great folks at Bryan Station for having us here this evening. Athletic Director John Byard, all the great folks here at BSHS for what has been a splendid week of basketball, and 2 more games coming up on Friday before we transition to EKU next week for the 11th Region Tournament, one of the best weeks of the whole calendar.
Oh, yeah, and I can't wait till Friday because this is going to be jam-packed in this building.
There's Amari Owens in backcourt in the rivalry between Douglas and Bryan Station. It's 2 more for Amari. For folks that don't live in the Central Kentucky area, it's one of the stronger rivalries in the state. A newer rivalry with Frederick Douglass, only about a 9-year-old program, but a very strong respect and maybe even a disdain at times between the teams. There's a 3 by Dixon. That's Alan Dixon, and a Bryan Station foul.
Well, that rivalry, quickly jumped on because when they opened up Frederick Douglass, a lot of the Bryan Station kids went. So I think that call probably caused some animosity a little bit on the north side.
That's a great point in the proximity between the two schools, and basketball, football, just a tremendously run athletic departments. We can't wait for Friday. Barber in the corner, that's Ashford.
Just got to take care of the ball the last minute.
And this is going to close the season for Henry Clay. They'll fall to 17-12, but a tremendous year in terms of what they had returning. Jackson Steffen, again, the only returnee at all from last year. And Daniel Brown, one of the top coaches in the state. He's stockpiled wins, as he normally does, regardless of personnel.
Well, he made adjustments all year to help his team. He changed the lineups. He went with freshmen. He did whatever he had to do to give his team a chance to win. And that's what a coach does. And even though they may walk away with the loss tonight, Coach Brown has done a great job with this team.
One of the more well-respected head coaches is Daniel Brown, his 20th year. And he's closing in on 400 wins at Henry Clay. He's got 426 overall in his career. These, again, just 2 wonderfully coached teams. And for Station, win or lose, they're going to play another week. What do they need to work on, do you think, here deeper in the postseason?
Well, they showed me a lot tonight by the supporting cast stepping up. Adams did his thing tonight. He was steady. He did what he was supposed to do. And the other guys have really stepped up defensively. So, they just have to continue that. And then Maury has to keep doing his thing and making his team better.
Our Cartown Kia postgame report will follow regulation. We will chat with Bryan Station head coach Champ Ligon. We'll have the most outstanding players, and then we'll talk a bit about Friday night's action, all coming up at the Cartown Kia postgame report.
It's a good thing to see Bryan Station going back to the region. You know, that's my alma mater.
And this is their third consecutive trip to the 11th region. Drawing into Great Crossings bracket. The last 2 years, they drew them as a runner-up in the opening round in 24. Lost a hard-fought game in Georgetown, then lost by one possession in the semifinals last year.
Yeah, sometimes it takes a little bit before you get there. You know, they've done the things, they prepared, and, you know, the one thing about Coach Ligon is he's got his guys playing at a high level.
There's 5 seconds remaining as Bryan Station will move on. Two tremendously great coaches will meet at the scores table as Bryan Station a winner tonight, 62-48. Our Cartown Kia postgame report coming up in just a few moments as you enjoy the sights and the sounds live from Bryan Station High School.
Take the short drive to satisfaction with the Tim Short Auto Group. Up to 5,000 vehicles to choose from. Shop online or in person.
Hey, I'm Tim Short. I'd just like to invite everybody out to one of our 27 locations, or check us out online at timshortautogroup.com.
Take the short drive to satisfaction and bring home your new vehicle.
For any of your window, door, and siding needs, contact the team at Elite Building Products. Their factory-certified, licensed, and insured contractors have been installing energy-efficient windows and doors for over 30 years. They also offer energy tax credits and military veteran discounts. Locally owned and open weekdays at 242 Wilson Drive, just off of the 27 bypass. For a free estimate, call 859-887-2440. Elite Building Products.
Can one college be all things to all people? Bluegrass Community and Technical College can. Learn more at bluegrass.kctcs.edu.
Need a tow? Martin's Peterbilt Towing Service is here 24/7. Based in London and Pikeville, we will travel to you. Commercial trucks and trailers, no job too big. Call us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Martin's Peterbilt, keeping you rolling.
Your road to safe, confident driving starts at Apex Driving School. Apex is family-owned and operated, offering teen and adult driving lessons given by state-certified instructors. They also provide a wide range of services, including classroom instruction, freeway interstate driving, and road test prep. Register today. Apex Driving School, where learning to drive feels like family.
At Man O' War Harley-Davidson, we're proud to be Kentucky's only family-owned Harley-Davidson dealership. Here, horsepower meets hospitality, and every rider is treated like family. With a huge selection of Harley-Davidson motorcycles, expert service and parts, premium apparel, and endless customization options, we're built to support every mile of your ride. And through community events and group rides, we're more than just a dealership. Man O' War Harley-Davidson, where the ride begins.
Drive with the confidence and security of a pre-owned Kia from Cartown Kia. This incredible certification package is loaded with a 5-year, 60,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, 10 years of national roadside assistance, and 2 years of free maintenance. Choose from over 70 certified pre-owned Kias or over 1,000 vehicles of all makes and models. It's new car driving at used cars prices with certified pre-owned Kias from CartownKiaUSA.com.
Tonight's post-game recap is brought to you by Cartown Kia, your dealership for unmatched design, performance, and savings at 3120 Lexington Road in Nicholasville. Visit CartownKiaUSA.com.
Back at Bryan Station High School as the defenders move on, defeating Henry Clay tonight 62-48. Time now for our most outstanding players, presented by our great partners at Central Midwest Carpenters and Carpenters Local Union 1650. You can build your career today. Just visit carpenters.com for Henry Clay. We'll go with Jackson Steffen, 24 points and 6 rebounds, and just a tremendous effort from him in terms of effort in this game.
Well, here's the thing. When you're a senior, you know this, you either win or you go home. And, you know, the one thing you want to do is leave it out on the floor so you never second-guess yourself, and that's what he did tonight.
Steffen, 5 of 13, however, from the free throw line, but 24 points tonight, leading Henry Clay. Jack Hemingway finishes with 7. Alan Dixon with 5. For Bryan Station, absolutely tonight, it's Tayshawn Adams, Nimbo. 20. Been a long day. 23 points, 14 rebounds for Tayshawn.
Well, here's the thing. We talked about it early in the game and how much of a big factor he is a part of this team. And he came in and he dominated the paint. He finished around the paint. He got all the rebounds, and they limited Henry Clay to one shot every time.
Amari Owens, 21 points, 6 rebounds, and he did not force things, Nimbo, and just a tremendous game, I think, from him. He maybe took the foot off the gas just a tad.
Well, here's the thing sometimes. I think you have to take what comes to you, and I think tonight was a game for the extras, you know, the role players. Amari did a good job of leading them and you know, giving out assists when he needed to, but it was more about the role players.
Role players played very well. Kamani Barber, 7 points. Marcellus Ashford with 7. And again, just a great effort from Station. They trailed 7-6 in the first, but they put the pedal to the metal and they win 62-48. More coverage coming up. We'll have a look at your final numbers. Also catch up with Station head coach Champ Ligon. That is on the way on Glycod.
No one college can be all things to all people, but Bluegrass Community and Technical College is as close as it gets. We're affordable, like you've got a great chance to graduate with little to no debt. Affordable, flexible, with in-person, online, and hybrid programs. And you can easily transfer your credits to continue on to a 4-year university. So while we can't be everything to everyone, we can be a lot of things to you. Learn more at bluegrass.kctcs.edu.
New recruit, take advantage of our apprenticeship program. Come out of our 4-year course debt-free. With health insurance, a guaranteed pension, a degree, and an electrical license.
3 words I'd use to describe the apprenticeship are opportunity, skillful, educational,
solid career path,
rewarding, beneficial, and a brotherhood.
A life-changing opportunity.
The cost of school is free. All your books are paid for.
You go to school once every 2 weeks. All the other stuff is on-the-job training.
The teachers here are great. They're all very, very knowledgeable.
They're preparing you for what you're already seeing in the field.
If you're struggling with something in school, sometimes your fellow students can help you work through that.
Everyone's willing to help each other. It's like a big family.
I love being a part of a union, something bigger than myself.
This field is so vast. You can find something that you really love to do because there is so much you can do.
I went from a job to a life-changing career.
Power up your potential with the IBEW.
Take the short drive to satisfaction with the Tim Short Auto Group. Up to 5,000 vehicles to choose from. Shop online or in person.
Hey, I'm Tim Short. I'd just like to invite everybody out to one of our 27 locations, or check us out online at timshortautogroup.com.
Take the short drive to satisfaction and bring home your new vehicle.
Research has shown high school sports to be a great community influence. Join scores of local businesses that have partnered with Glycod in sponsoring live, hometown-oriented sports programming on our video and social media platforms. For more information, email info@glycod.com.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how, and we tell them with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids need to know the dangers and how to avoid them. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription and never shared with friends or family. It's dangerous and illegal. So talk with your kids, because when you talk, they hear you.
For any of your window, door, and siding needs, contact the team at Elite Building Products. Their factory-certified, licensed, and insured contractors have been installing energy-efficient windows and doors for over 30 years. They also offer energy tax credits and military veteran discounts. Locally owned and open weekdays at 242 Wilson Drive, just off of the 27 bypass. For a free estimate, call 859-887-2440. Elite Building Products.
You're watching Central Kentucky High School basketball on Glycod.
62-48, Bryan Station a winner tonight over Henry Clay. Station will improve to 19-6, and they will advance to Friday night's championship game versus Frederick Douglass. Time now for the final numbers presented by BCTC. It's college for your world. Bryan Station 52% from the floor, but wow, look at the rebounding difference, plus 21 on the glass. That was one of Nimbo's keys, and certainly it proved to be a big one tonight as Bryan Station a winner 62-48. Champ Ligon has joined our Nimbo Hammonds, and let's cut to those gentlemen right now. Nimbo, you're on the air.
Coach, first of all, congratulations. You know, you're going back to the region once again. I think with my last stint here, me and you talked on the phone, and you asked me, should you come back? What do you think about that decision now?
I think it was a pretty good decision. We did talk, man, and you gave me – I wasn't going to come back behind you unless you gave me your blessing. And you gave me your blessing, and there's really a big story behind that. I was down in Florida living the dream life, playing golf, and all of a sudden I started playing really bad for about a month, and one day I said, what the hell am I doing? I got to get back into coaching. And the very next day, the Bryan Station job opened up, and Bill Brown, assistant coach, rest in peace, he called me up and said, I'm suffering from prostate cancer, and I need a reason to live. It's divine intervention, man.
Yes, and you know, we talked about that, and you was happy to come back. So the good thing about this is, you came back home and you've reestablished Bryan Station as a powerhouse. As you go forward, how do you prepare your guys for the big game on Friday?
Well, I got to say, Coach Garvin does a great job, and looking at all the teams in the region, I really feel like Frederick Douglass has just really maxed out and is really playing at their very peak. So it's a great challenge for us. That's a big rivalry too. I think we'll bring our best. I'm sure they're going to bring our best. It's going to be a dogfight.
Well, we were real impressed tonight. One of our keys was Tayshawn really owning that paint. And then also Amari doing what he does. Now, Amari really didn't have the game that he usually has, but he was still effective, and he got everybody involved. But Tayshawn was the man tonight. Tell me a little about that.
Well, Tayshawn, we always talk about getting him 15 shots. If we can get him 15 shots, we're going to win the game no matter who we play against. And he is so unselfish. And we got a bunch of young guys. It is so hard to get him 15 shots. And, Amari did a great job. When Amari gets everybody involved, we always talk about the basketball come back to you. And it did right at game time. And, they started trying to, run and jump him and double, triple team, and we just went by for the layup. Just an amazing player.
Coach, once you got down in the locker room, tell me, how has it been coaching Amari this year? Such a spectacular player, him breaking the record here and being the all-time leading scorer in the city. Tell me, how was that coaching him? Because he's really a tremendous kid.
He is a tremendous kid, and it's been a real pleasure to coach him, and he just keeps getting better. He's still got things to work on. We all got things to work on. But you talk about a competitor. Man, that kid is a competitor. And the thing is, like he set the scoring record, and his three-point shooting percentage on a given night, he can hit them all. But it's not. He's made all those points, or the majority of them, the hard way. because basketball in Lexington's rough. Yes. And he's scoring at the rim, getting knocked down. Now, he gets a lot of fouls called, but then there's a lot that aren't called. So, I mean, credit goes to him. I mean, he's one of the fastest players I've ever seen from one end to the other, and he has a unique ability to get to the rim. And when he gets to the next level, man, he's got an opportunity to really develop into a fantastic point guard as those guys come to him and he dishes it to guys for dunks and threes and so forth.
Well, Coach, again, congratulations. I'm proud of you on so many fronts. You know, you had me when I was little. We've been friends forever. You know, so I'm happy to see you get there on Friday. So good luck, and go down there and be with your team, Coach, and celebrate.
I appreciate it, Nimbo. And it was a joy to coach you in Little League All-Stars, and it was a joy to have you on my staff the first time around, man. I love you. I love you too,
Coach.
That's great to see Nimbo Hammonds and Champ Ligon. As Bryan Station moves on, they'll take on Henry Clay. Take on Douglas on Friday night. We'll wrap things up right after this on Glycod.
Stuck on the road? Call Martin's Peterbilt Mobile Service. Our 24/7 commercial roadside service, truck and trailer repair, and warranty service will have you back on the road in no time. Call us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Martin's Peterbilt, keeping you rolling.
At Man of War Harley Davidson, we're proud to be Kentucky's only family-owned Harley Davidson dealership. Here, horsepower meets hospitality, and every rider is treated like family. With a huge selection of Harley-Davidson motorcycles, expert service and parts, premium apparel, and endless customization options, we're built to support every mile of your ride. And through community events and group rides, we're more than just a dealership. Man of War Harley-Davidson, where the ride begins.
No one college can be all things to all people, but Bluegrass Community and Technical College is as close as it gets. We're affordable, like you've got a great chance to graduate with little to no debt. Affordable, flexible, with in-person, online, and hybrid programs. And you can easily transfer your credits to continue on to a 4-year university. So while we can't be everything to everyone, we can be a lot of things to you. Learn more at bluegrass.kctcs.edu.
I think it's important to have a passion because it's important to have something that's bigger than yourself, that you find joy in, that you can work towards every single day. I would say that basketball has positively influenced my life greater than any other thing that I've done because it has allowed me to build so many great relationships, and it's taught me resilience and accountability and discipline and so many things that I use in life every single day. I've witnessed how drugs have negatively impacted people in my community, and I know that by pursuing my passion, I've been able to make positive choices that have helped me grow as a person and an athlete. If you're feeling pressured, I would just encourage you to stay true to yourself and not let others influence you to become something that you're not. It's okay to stand out and make choices that reflect who you really are. My name is Cassidy Rowe, and I'm better without it.
You'll still have common days, but this is not one of them. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
Tonight's game has been brought to you by Kentucky Army National Guard. Uncommon is calling.
62-48. The final score tonight is Bryan Station defeats Henry Clay. Station moves on to Friday night. They'll take on Frederick Douglass. 8 o'clock start. 6 o'clock start will be the girls' championship game between Scott County and Frederick Douglass. Nimbo, what do you take away from tonight's outcomes?
Bryan Station seems to be ready. Frederick Douglass seems to be ready. It's like we're going to have a heavyweight match on Friday.
Can't wait to see you then. Coverage starts at 5:30 at this site, and then the Lafayette site, Keith Elkins, Robbie Moss will have the action at the 43rd. Nimbo and I back here at Bryan Station at the 42nd on Friday, then the 10 a.m. selection show on Saturday. So that'll do it for us. Thank you so much for joining us. Please subscribe to our growing free-to-watch high school athletics platform. Bryan Station 62, Henry Clay 48. For producer Steve Bird, camera operators John Strange and Isaac Shoemaker, as well as analyst Nimbo Hammonds, I'm Chris LeBar. Good night. You've been watching Central Kentucky High School basketball on Glycod.
From Glycod, this has been Central Kentucky High School basketball, presented by Bluegrass Community and Technical College. College for your world. Tonight's game was brought to you by Man O' War Harley-Davidson, 100% Kentucky owned and operated. New Vista, we see the good ahead. Tim Short Auto Plaza, take the short drive to satisfaction. Martin's Peterbilt, keeping you rolling. Elite Building Products in Nicholasville, where you'll find top quality products for your home. Cartown Kia, movement that inspires. Carpenter's Local 1650. Build your winning career today. And by Suntime Pools and Spas and Apex Driving School.
Visit Glycod.com and follow us on social media for information about upcoming broadcasts and other high school sports content. Thank you for watching this live sports presentation on Glycod.